Have you breathing? Really? Sorry.
Sorry, I was trying not to laugh. It's the sound.
From downstairs?
No,
Or this? Hmm. Okay, I feel like I set something up wrong, by the way, so is there like an echo or some sort, or... So, Sarah's pretty much dead. Has it been dead for, like, all over the holidays, or what? Is it because we skipped a week, or is interest, like, dramatically dropped off? Is it because it hasn't been updated to 1.15.1, or what? Does that matter? What the... What is this? It's like a big mummy. God, this is like going to hell. It's like visiting hell. Like a hell tailored just for you. Out of all of your crimes.
Drop too much. There's usually a few people on.
Says who?
Soft lump.
Oh, okay. Oh, someone made the tip of the penis statue pink. That's great. That's great to see. I'm so happy about that. Softlump, are you an admin? OP Softlump. I think you are, right? Yeah, you're already an operator. Okay. Joseph Anderson, Weeb Charity, Panda Protection, and Gay Baby Jail. Shout out to Simple Flips. Alright, well, I hope that's not an awful thing that I just said. We all know Joe's true number one wife, who is Lily. Aww. Surprisingly wholesome. Newly renovated. Weeb VIP room. Oh, I'm not allowed in there. Weeaboo box. Bamboo. Oh, that's funny. Weeb jail cell. Oh no, I'm stuck in Weeb jail. There is always a way out. Oh no, I'm stuck in Weeb jail. Oh no. Shit. How do I teleport again? Teleport. Soft lump. There we go. What's the matter?
I was watching when you did that.
Mess with your eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just all these trees, just all of a sudden.
What is this, a mine track? It's like a roller coaster? Oh, damn, look at this. You guys have been busy. It must be pretty satisfying to build something that takes so long in the game and then it ends up being, like, really useful at the same time. Sort of like Factorio, but in first person. That was surprisingly loud, wasn't it? Okay, I'm just messing with someone's shit right now. So, in case you're unaware, I'm a Minecraft noob. I know very little about Minecraft. The first time I've ever really properly played it has been on the server with you guys. Alright, where are we going? Oh, that's cool. I like that. Have you ever tried Sunless Sea or Sunless Skies? No, I have not. I did watch I think maybe all of the video that Mandalore did on Sunless Seas. Maybe I stopped playing it at some point, stopped watching it at some point, at a spoiler point, I can't remember. But I watched some of it for sure. I spoke with him about it afterwards. Whenever one of us releases a new video, usually we end up talking to each other for a little bit about it and be like, hey, this was really good, this part, you know, like, oh, that's cool. And by whenever one of us releases a video, it's whenever Mandalore releases a new video, because I don't release videos, and he releases videos like it's going out of style, making us all look bad. What's that? I wish there was a block inspector. I bet there probably is, actually, so I could see what that is without destroying it. Like, this looks like snow. Mandy better be in Witcher. No, actually, it's all me in The Witcher. There is some stuff that's contributed by artists, but it's just all me in The Witcher. All me, baby. Who did this? This looks neat. Underground Weeb Varvareth. F3. Oh, okay. Well, I just doxed myself. Cool. What's this? Where are we going? Lily, you're being very quiet. What's up?
I don't know what to say. You're checking out this, and I'm trying not to watch you, and I'm trying to read the chat from across.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put chat on the monitor in front of you.
I can't catch all of it. From across the room.
There you go. Is that better? How many people are here?
Much, thank you.
I'm going to guess 200. Right on, 200.
Now
nice.
I can see everybody.
Nice. Okay, so I think this is the least amount of people we've had in a Q&A stream for a while, so I'm guessing it's because of the holidays. So we're going to be keeping it a bit low-key tonight, which is fine. I think most people usually watch the VODs of these anyway. When will you do a critical review of Raid Shadow Legends? Never. Never.
Hi, everybody. How was your Christmas? Or your holiday for those who don't celebrate Christmas?
Oh no, it's moon language. What is this? Who made all this down here? Who planted a tree? Damn, people get really into their Minecraft.
Went to Disney World for a week. That sounds fun.
Can I, as admin, can I like view how many hours people have been connected for?
The dog is spoiled. How's your girlfriend doing? Is she okay? I know with the weather and everything. I don't know where you are though, but when it gets cold and it's slippery and stuff, I'm always nervous.
Do I prefer the Tomb Raider or the Uncharted series? I don't like the old Tomb Raider games. I never got into them. I played them when they came out too. It's not like their dated thing. I really did not like them when they first came out. I was one of the only ones among my friends that didn't like them. The new games, I think in terms of gameplay, I prefer Tomb Raider. But in terms of story, I prefer Uncharted and presentation. I think the set pieces in the story are way better in Uncharted series. I think that's pretty much undeniable. But the Tomb Raider games are decent. I think. I think they get they don't get as much love, or they get too much hate than they deserve. You know.
Hey Joe, asking again. Sorry if people have already asked this, but have you tried Outer Wilds? I'm still playing it, but I think it's fantastic. Reminds me a lot of Subnautica.
No, I haven't played Outer Wilds. We're going to do that sometime in 2020. It's going to be one of the first games I play when Witcher's done and streams come back 5 days a week, 5 hours a stream, I think is what we're going to settle on. I think that's what we're going to try and do, and we're going to play Outer Wilds with chat turned off, and I'm just going to stream it blind. But if it turns out that that's not a good idea, then I'll just play it myself. And what the hell is happening here?
Oh, you're in Australia, okay. So you don't have to worry about ice yet. So that's good. Sorry she's not feeling great, though. At least we're almost into January, right? And then that'll be only a few weeks away.
Is this an Australia simulator someone made in this tower here? Like, what's going on? Bone meal pickle jar. What is this?
Wuggy's here. Holy shit, this server has gotten huge.
Hey Wuggy, how's it going? Update on The Witcher. There's gonna probably again. Okay. So here's the thing. So I have around 200 to 300 hours left of the video to do. And that will take me comfortably over 4,000 hours worked on the project, because I want people to understand the context of what 200 to 300 hours means. Like 200 to 300 hours sounds like a lot, but in terms of the whole entire project, it's not that it's not that much compared to the rest of it.
That's pretty.
So that's how much 200 hours. No, that's how much work hours I'm estimating is left on it. However, I've never had to put a video this long together before in terms of rendering it and checking it and doing the final pass of fact checking and proofing kind of and that sort of level of editing. The problem is when you say editing, when you're making a video, people just assume it's the video assembly part, because that's what it typically means. But there's editing like you're editing a script. You know what I mean? Like there's going through it and making sure that, oh, it's nice, and making sure that there's no mistakes. Well, if the video is 9 hours long, spoilers, it's longer than that, then it takes you 9 hours to watch the whole thing. And it's not something that you can watch on ×2 speed either, because you want to make sure that you're catching any mistakes. Like, to tell you what can be kind of hellish about putting videos together, there have been times when I've made videos when I'm watching it back in the video editor, for absolutely no reason that I can tell, Shadowplay for one frame switches to recording my desktop off of the game instead of the game, even though the game is full screened. So in one frame, with no indicator that it happened while I'm playing the game, you know, just in the middle of fucking like Dark Souls, you know, or whatever, there's like one frame where it just randomly has a screen cap of my desktop with all of the glorious mess that is on my desktop, you know. So there's stuff like that, like little mistakes. So and that's trying to catch them in video editing. And then there's just mistakes where I made a mistake, I need to go back and fix it, or this I try very hard that there's no like clipping at the end of video clips as well. Like it's like a clip doesn't end with like going into a load screen in the game just as I switch, you know, like unless it's intentional, trying to bleed the clips together. I don't like it if a clip ends with a voice line being cut in a bad way. Just cleaning up that sort of thing. So if that takes 9 hours just to watch it back, and I want to watch it back multiple times, and then there's rendering it out and everything. Like rendering it out might take a week, you know. Like I tried rendering something really long recently, and even on my Witcher supercomputer that I built specifically to make this Witcher video, I had to cancel it because it was taking so long and I needed the computer for something else. But at the time that I canceled it, it was at 36 hours and it wasn't even like close to 60% done yet. So it might take a while to render it out, because I need to render it out at a high bit rate. Then I need to render it down into a lower bit rate. I need to compress it, that sort of thing. And that's if I do put it up as one video. I'm going to try still, even though I said that tweet. But I still want to try, but if I can't, I still want to render it out in one big thing to release later when YouTube updates their policies. But then, yeah, even rendering out in pieces, you know, it's still going to be quite a big thing. So I don't know, like when I'm done and it's just 100% done, and I've done all the editing and I'm ready to go, like there still might be a week left before it even goes on YouTube. I have no idea, or it might be a couple days, or it might be even more than a week. So I can't tell you exactly when it's going to be done, even though by my current rate that I'm working, I took a couple days off for Christmas, but right when I go back into work now, it should be done in 3 weeks. So that's what I'm saying. But like, I'm not going to promise, I'm not going to say anything, because I have no idea what's going to happen after those 3 weeks are over. And that's if, like, whoa, this looks cool. And that's if I'm actually right on, which I think I am, but yeah, we'll see. So, so I can't say much. What I can say is that I am almost certain, and again, I have to say the almost because I have to put the disclaimer in. I am almost certain that in January, a video will go up on the main channel. And I think I'm going to title it Witcher Video Primer. And it's going to be explaining what's coming up, and there'll be a release date in that. That's that. I'm almost certain I can do that. And then there we go. So much work has gone into this that I think it deserves something of an announcement. It's like over a year's worth of content going up. So yeah. I hope that makes sense. I didn't read chat for any of that, sorry. I hope you won't make anything this large again soon for your sanity. Yeah, I never will. I will never make something this large again, as a solo project at least. Yeah, never again. Have you thought about showing the video to some people to get their opinions on the video, trying to get a new perspective, or just something you might be missing on the video? Not really. I don't like that. I like it when it goes up that it's just boom and there it is. Whoop, there it is. The only person that's ever watched videos before they've gone live in the past has been Lily. And Lily is an outsider. She doesn't really know games all that much, but it's usually like, you know, as someone who doesn't know games, does this make sense? Can you follow this? And if she says yes, then I know, okay, well, anyone who has played games is going to follow this, so she can follow without much gaming knowledge. If she says no, then I have to make a judgment call. Is it because Lily doesn't really understand games all that much, or is there something legitimately wrong with the flow of the video? So that's her thing. In this case, there may be some pieces that I show to some people for the Witcher 3 part. There are some developers I know that I think I might want to show something, and there was something that I really finalized recently, talking to someone who worked on God of War, actually, the God of War 2018. There's something I was speaking to someone on that, and I was able to nail down some thoughts about that, so that was pretty cool. Joe is talking surprisingly fast. Did you sleep well? No, I really didn't sleep well at all. Sorry, am I speaking too quickly? Since the decade is ending, what is your final favorite game of the From Software Souls games? If Sekiro counts, then I think it's Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne has just the best overall experience. Then it would be a toss-up between Sekiro and Dark Souls 3. I don't know. Sekiro has the best combat system out of all the ones that they've made. I really, really, really like Sekiro's combat system. If you go back in time into the Discord server, there was some conversations that we were having when the Discord server first went up, and it's kind of eerie how me and there used to be a mod, and I can't remember their name on Discord now. We were having a conversation with a bunch of other people in one of the chats, and we're saying like how could you improve the why can't I fly? Oh, it got depleted. We were talking about how we could improve, like theoretically, how could you improve the Dark Souls' combat in the same way that Bloodborne improved it, but still being like Dark Souls is, like being defensively focused instead of offensively focused like Bloodborne. And we were discussing it, and it was, and the idea that we settled on was that we would like there to be attacks that you have to jump over if they added a jump button, and there were attacks that you jumped over, there were attacks that you had to dodge through, and there were attacks that you had to deflect. And we were talking about how that would be really cool to have the game respond to 3 different levels of it. And then Sekiro came out and it was like, holy shit, that's what they did. And it was like, fuck, I was stunned. I can't believe it. It wasn't Rex, no. Although Rex might have been involved in the conversation, it wasn't Rex. I think it was. I can't. This is why I'm hesitant to say his name, because I couldn't usually pronounce his name. It was Joachim T. Do you know how JOACIMT?
Oh.
I can never say that guy's name.
I don't know how to say it either.
Yeah. Ironically, he ended up not liking Sekiro when it came out.
Yes, Hellfire.
Yeah,
but I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I remember there was other people involved in the conversation, but I remember speaking about it with him specifically. We were all in chat. This was like very soon after the server went live. I don't even think Joachim was a mod at that point. And that's what we were talking about. And it was kind of weird to see Sekiro actually did it. I think Sekiro has a lot of problems. I've written a whole script about those problems. But I really enjoyed Sekiro, and I think it has the best combat system. But between that and Dark Souls 3, I don't know which would be the best. Like Dark Souls 1 is always going to be like probably my favorite, just because it was the first one I ever played, and that's going to be special for me. But if I'm trying to look at it more objectively than purely subjectively, I think that Bloodborne is probably my favorite, but it's hard to tell. But my favorite game of the decade is Undertale. So I think that's the most important game. That's my favorite. I think Dark Souls is the most influential game. There was a bunch of people that responded to that tweet I did, and they were talking about how Minecraft is the most influential game, and I really don't see it. I don't see how Minecraft... well, first of all, should Minecraft even be a part of this decade? I don't know. That's up for grabs too. But apart from that, I do not see Minecraft's influence anywhere in other games that aren't just Minecraft clones, you know. Whereas Souls had a huge influence even on games that aren't Souls likes, and they made there's that line about how Dark Souls made difficult games, you know, mainstream again, and it kind of did. I think I don't even think Dark Souls is all that difficult, to be honest. Like, it is a hard game, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it is as hard as a lot of people make it out to be. Most NES games and a lot of Super Nintendo games that came out that I played as a kid were all harder than Dark Souls. So it's just... this was the first exposure to people to a really difficult game for people who started gaming, you know, as their first game was like Uncharted or The Last of Us or something. That is a big thing that someone made over there. But I don't think Minecraft was as influential as Dark Souls, sorry.
Someone's been asking about Ace Attorney and when you're going to play it.
2020 as well. So when Witcher's done and we're back on the full schedule of 5 streams a week, 5 hours a stream, we're going to be playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, we're going to be playing Ace Attorney, we're going to be playing the David Cage games, Outer Wilds, I always forget one, Yakuza 0, and there's one other one too, Deltarune, but Deltarune's going to be a fast stream. So we're going to be doing that. I think they're conflating influential and popular. I think so too, yeah.
And someone's been asking if these streams will continue once you're streaming full time again, and yes, because they are a reward, right?
They're a Patreon reward, yeah. So they'll keep continuing on. Joe, I'm at the mountain tree. If you want to see some new things, sure. Teleport to Soft Lump.
With all the games coming out in 2020, is Below Zero a priority for you or more on the back burner?
That was like the most realistic meow ever. I actually thought the cat was in the room. Like, we have a cat. I was about to say, how did the cat get in here? Because the cat never comes in this room. Okay, cool. So...
yeah, more streams will come back after Witcher's done. He'll go back to a more, I don't know what, 4 or 5 day a week schedule.
About that, yeah. Oh, wow. Who made this? Look at this. Oh, man. Someone's been busy.
Hey, Joe, how are you doing? Didn't even notice I was gifted a sub until you read my name out loud on a VOD. It was fucking weird.
I'll read your name out again, random spawn. At least your name isn't Bill Nye the cream pie guy. Bill.
There was a question I just asked you and I don't remember what it was now. But you didn't answer it.
What was the question?
I don't remember.
Something about streams coming back, or if the stream's going to continue?
Something about a priority. That game was high on the priority list.
I don't remember Subnautica. What the game, Subnautica.
What the game was.
Yeah, I'll play Subnautica Below Zero when it's out of early access. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it recaptures the magic a little bit of the original Subnautica, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it, and it's been difficult to not break my rule on that and play it in early access. I really shouldn't be playing Hades either, but I really wanted to.
And someone asked before too, have you ever played League of Legends? If so, did you enjoy it at all?
Yeah, I play League of Legends quite a bit. Funny story, I can't tell you the exact details because it could be used to dox me, but funny story is that when I was friends with someone quite a while ago, a long time ago, before League of Legends even came out, and we were in a writing group together, and we were like 2 of the only people in this writing group that actually played video games, and that person got a job working for, I don't know if it was Riot back then or if it was something that became Riot. I don't remember the details. And I actually got sent one of the first wave beta keys of League of Legends from this person because of that. And I remember looking at the game, and I was like, nah, this isn't going to take off. I don't want to play this. So I didn't. So that just sitting in, I could probably dig it up if I ever wanted to, and it was just sitting there in my email, and I never played it, I never used it, I never did anything, and yeah, and it wasn't until a long time later that I played League of Legends with a friend, and I was playing it, and I was like, this looks familiar, like I swear I saw this one time, and I went through my email, and there it was, and I was like, oh shit, here I am playing this game. Yeah, I played it with, I'm not in contact with that person anymore either. And yeah, so it's pretty funny. Anyway, I used to play AD carry. That's what I used to play when I played League of Legends. I probably played grand total. I'm gonna lowball it at 200 hours of League of Legends. That sounds like a lot, but when there's multiplayer games, like that's really not much at all. I didn't play ranked. I just played like just whatever queue, like unranked queue with two of my friends, and usually it was like, if we were all playing together, then it would be me and a support, and the other friend that I was playing with would be jungle. And then if it was just like, and depending on if it was only two of us, who depending on what the friend was, like they would go jungle, they would support. And I was AD carry. My main character that I liked to play the most was Jinx, but I would occasionally play Graves and Ezreal and just the normal AD carries. Yeah, I tried almost all of them, but I really enjoyed Jinx and Ezreal because of their screen wide ults. I really liked making those skill shots from across the, like keeping track of everything, and then like just flinging it across the map to see if I could get an easy kill from someone who was trying to teleport in the bushes. And sometimes I really did get them off, and it was really cool to be like, oh man, I did that. But I was bad at it. I was really bad at it. So many little village. I was really bad at League of Legends. But it's okay. I haven't played it since. This is how long it's been since I played League of Legends. I have never ever played it with the new graphics. So that's how long it's been. This looks kind of cool.
Have you ever played Osu? Might be a fun way to stress.
Heard of it, but I don't think I've ever played it. Let's teleport to Sir Atem. Whoa, hey Sir Atem. Don't mind me. Okay, this is not... Let's not go how I thought it was. Let's teleport to Certs Ply Xiest.
Just curious, what are you expecting out of Deltarune story-wise?
Absolutely nothing. I have no expectations whatsoever about Deltarune's story. I have no idea. From what little I have seen, it looks like it's the character from the first game, like going to high school in Monsterland. Like that's what it looks like to me. I can't even say any more speculation because there'll be spoilers for the original Undertale. That's what it looks like to me, but I have no clue what it's about. I have no idea how there even is a sequel. I don't know what ending is canon. I don't know if there is an ending that's canon. I have no idea. So like I'm looking forward to going into that blind, and chat will be turned off when we do that as well.
Will there be a SOTTR review to complete the trilogy? I don't know what that means.
Look, I want to say that's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, yeah. Isn't it Tomb Raider Shadow of the Tomb Raider, or is it just called Shadow of the Tomb Raider? I can't remember. Yeah, there will. I've played it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I sometimes I think that series just got better as it went on with each game, and by better I mean like it's not like any of them are amazing or anything, but like they're a good time, you know what I mean? Like they're a step up above popcorn games, but you know they're not stellar experiences. But I think they got better as they went on, and sometimes I think it peaked with Rise. But yeah, it's yeah. That was one of the games I was going to do a video on when I still thought I could manage to make like 12 videos to put up while I was working on The Witcher, and that just fell apart, you know? That was just, oh my god. Like, you guys think I'm scatterbrained right now. You have no idea what it was like back then. Oh man, like right around when Kate was born. It was so bad. That was such a bad time. I was going fucking crazy. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, there will be a video at some point.
Hey Joe, I love your videos, and you've inspired me to try and make my own critiques of games. Thanks for your great videos and streams.
No, don't. I don't need competition. No. Mandalore does enough. No, I'm kidding. Good luck with it, and your first video is going to be the hardest one. After that, should get a little easier, and then it might get weird. But good luck with it. If you finish your video, then message me on Discord about it with a link. I can't promise that I will watch it or give you feedback on it or anything like that, but like I'll add it onto my YouTube watch list, and maybe I will give it a listen while I'm doing some video editing or something. And yeah.
Best white-haired girl from a game that isn't to be.
Siri. I like Siri. She's pretty hot. Is that weird? I don't think it's weird. It's Geralt's daughter, not mine, right? Oh, spoiler shit. Damn. Dude, no. No, I like Siri. I like Siri. Anyway, let me set up some questions, and I also need to say thank you to a bunch of people. This is turning into we just sit around while we play Minecraft, answering questions from chat.
It's holiday still.
Honestly, it's holiday thing. I'm not completely adverse to that, but we should answer at least a couple questions. Anyway, let me get these into the Oh my god, the music. Is it too loud, by the way? I should have asked this a while ago. I'm gonna turn it down. I think maybe the microphone is picking up my headset. Karumi from V3. That's just basically 2B. Is the Siri thing true? Is what Siri thing true? Are you asking if Siri being Geralt's daughter is true, or if that's actually a spoiler or anything? No, it's not a spoiler. And she's not his daughter, but also kind of she's his daughter. Favorite Nintendo game this decade? None of them. What are all the Nintendo games that came out this decade? I'm gonna guess it has to be Breath of the Wild. I don't see how it could be anything else.
You didn't watch any more of the show, right?
No, I didn't. No. I'm going to, though. I don't know when I'm gonna do that. There's a stage of the project I'm finishing up right now, and then I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to record it as I do. And all the parts of the video that I've already put to the script when I'm talking about the books, I'm gonna see if I can replace it with scenes from the Netflix show, if I can. And I'll probably render that and put it up and see if it gets like slammed with copyright. Because some copyright claims can make it so you can't put ads on it at all. And if it gets slammed with that, then I'll just revert it back to the other one and I'll put it up. But I think it would be way better to have that than nothing at all. I really don't think you'll enjoy it. The writing is meh at best. I mean, I'm going to get more enjoyment out of it because it's going to be cool to see like a live action version of the books that I've read. So that might be fun. I will say that I watched part of the first episode and I really did not like the CGI on the Kikimor. I thought that was pretty bad. And the acting was a little bit off, I thought. Like it wasn't that great. And the fight scene at the end, I skipped ahead and I watched it. That was pretty good, but I don't know. I feel like the books do this too. The books have this hard on. It's a theme though for saying the lesser evil. It's like one of the biggest themes of that media. I feel like CJ Projekt Red doesn't really understand that all that much, but yeah, it's you know, that line from the trailer. Evil is evil, greater, middling, blah, 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 blah. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all. That is from the story. That's the first episode of The Witcher. I'm not even sure if he says that in the first episode of the Witcher series, but that is from that story. But it's kind of like one of those phrases that's taken out of context and they don't tell you the ending. It's like, there's that saying, blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water. Full quotes. So, blood is thicker than water makes you think that family is the most important thing. Like that's kind of what it alludes to, is that blood is the best thing. Like blood ties you way more than anything else. But the full quote is apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, I thought it was different, is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which means it's the opposite. It's the blood of a connection you make in your life, which is a religious connection, means more than the water that you have from your family when you were born, and the family ties that you were. Well, that's kind of how what that line is that they use in the trailer for Witcher 3 is, you know, it makes it sound like Geralt is not someone that ever is going to choose the lesser evil. It's like, I'd rather not choose at all. Well, that's how he would like it to be, but that's actually complete horseshit, and he is constantly choosing lesser evil, and it gets kind of I don't know, corny. I don't know what campy. I don't know what the word is, where it just keeps showing up over and over and over again. And there's that line in the first episode where he goes and attacks Renfri's people. Spoiler, sorry, henchmen, and one of them just point blank says, you know, she said you have to choose the lesser evil, and the other guy comes from behind him and goes, it's an ultimatum, and I just wanted to die, because it's like, really, we're just gonna just slam this on the nose, you know what I mean? Like this is Star Wars level bullshit, you know. So I thought that was pretty bad. But the books and the games can be like that too. Way more of the games than the books. I actually think the books are really good. They have a lot of problems, but I really enjoyed the books. Out of all the media that I've consumed for making this video, I enjoyed the books the most. Like if you want some minor spoilers, I would put the books at number 1, then Witcher 3, then Witcher 1, then Witcher 2. Those are the enjoyment I got out of it. I don't know where the next series would be because I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, that's how I enjoyed all of the different Witcher media for making this video. And yeah, Witcher 1 and 2 have those moments where it's very on the nose. I feel like Witcher 3 has the most subtleties in its writing. However, Witcher 3 is also the one that has the worst writing. Like it's just because it's boring. It has no, that's not true. It has the best writing, but it has the worst story. Does that make sense? I don't know. Hopefully it does. But yeah, I can't remember the original question now. Shit. Yeah, lesser evil. Let's just end it there. Let's teleport to Spadouche. Oh, I just typed in your name. Spadouche. And Thronebreaker at number 1. Obviously, Thronebreaker's at last, but I enjoyed Thronebreaker. It was okay. But yeah, definitely at the end, below all the rest of them. Thronebreaker was kind of boring, but I did enjoy it. Okay, so here are the questions. Okay, so let's finally explain what this Q&A is. So this Q&A is for patrons and Twitch subs, although we do try to answer some questions from people in chat as well, as you can see. Sometimes Lily and I get roped into doing that, and we kind of lose track of where we are. And that's okay. We do this for as many Saturdays as it takes. Sometimes we're going to be skipping a week if it turns out that the kids are uncooperative. Sometimes they go to bed really, really late, and sometimes we can't make it work, but we try. We give priority to people who have asked the questions in the Discord. The Discord has a Q&A channel that only Twitch subs can type in, and you can write your questions there if you are a Twitch sub. I believe it closes
the 30th, isn't it?
Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Yeah, it closes on the 30th, so you have until tomorrow. And spoilers, I'll close it on the 31st. You have a little extra time. But like no more than that. Then you can get your questions in if you're a Twitch sub. And we then take as many Saturdays as it takes to answer all of the questions that Twitch subs and who is messaging me and patrons submit on Patreon. And then after they're done, we open another prompt that we just did, and then we answer all them, and we just keep going and going and going for as long as we can. If it turns out that we can't do it for whatever reason, then we will announce that we skip a week. If it turns out that the kids interrupt these for too many streams in a row, then we'll have to put the feature on hiatus for a while. because it's kids permitting. I'm actually surprised that Kate hasn't started crying yet. I think there aren't many that questions on Patreon today. I think a lot of people are using Discord now, even if they're a patron. 1 orange name, 2 orange name, 3 orange name, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it looks like people prefer to use Discord if they are a patron and a Twitch sub. So there we go. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We usually, the earlier ones in the cycle, we end up talking more with people in chat and everything, and then we realize, oh shit, we better get a move on with these questions. But it's just kind of relaxed and more chill, right?
Tonight or just in general?
Just in general, it's more relaxed and chill.
Well, because they're ongoing now. It's
yeah, because it's ongoing. There's no
there's never
real
an end.
Yeah, and sometimes we do them, and I'm like on hardly any sleep, and I'm exhausted like I am today. So I'm a bit more rambly, even more than usual. So the first person on Patreon is Carlos S, and the first person on Twitch is, I think, Assistant Weeby. No, I'm wrong. It is Dimension Tripper,
our dramatic reading.
Yeah, but we have a bunch of people to say thank you to for bits and subs. I think someone like pledged like or donated like 1,000 bits a little while ago, and I still haven't said thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, Isolated Spaceman did 32 minutes ago. What an awful streamer I am. Carlos is in chat. Hey Carlos, how's it going? Is this your first main stream since we did the Lili-chan thing?
No. I don't think you called me.
Did we do another Q&A after?
I think so. Wasn't that like 2-3 weeks ago? I don't know. My sense of time is like...
Maybe. I can't remember.
I have no sense of time anymore.
I can't remember. Bum ba dum bum bum. Thank you to... Who's the last person I said thank you to? Piggy-san. Did you see Piggy-san last time?
I haven't commented yet, but yeah.
I
saw.
Game Sucks, I think. I think we said say thank you to Game Sucks last time. Maybe not. Maybe that came in while the stream was down.
Hello, Piggy-san.
Piggy-san's here. Oh, nice. First time resubbing, which means I can no longer give the excuse that I accidentally subbed to a weeb streamer. I guess that means I'm part of the Trash Chan Troop Art Cop Association, Monocoin managers, etc., etc. Thanks to the streams and videos. You're very welcome, Game Sucks, and thank you very much for the resub. And I hope that you watch this VOD and you hear that, because I think this was at the end of last stream or when the stream was down. Thank you to Wedya EMB for the 303 sub. Thank you very much. Dan4611 for the new sub. God Spain or God5 Pain for the new sub as well. These were when the streams were down, so hopefully you watched the VODs of these. Thank you to Unpossible Car for the 513 sub with Yo Dudes Sup. This was at the beginning of the stream, I think. We're just, chilling, doing the Q&A, and hopefully we start at some point in the next hour or two. We're just running around in the Minecraft server at the moment. But it's like I can't get it to continue to record while I'm all tabbed out, so that's kind of bad at the moment. How many people are here? There's a fair amount of people here. Okay. Let's go to the top of the penis, and we'll sit up there. Trash Chan was robbed. You agree?
I know, right?
You agree?
I agree.
Trash Chan was robbed?
I'll stick up for my girl.
Yeah. If anyone's playing on the server and they would like to just play on the server but also play by themselves, kind of isolated, if you just walk in a direction for a really, 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 really long time, I think you can eventually get away from everyone and you should be able to have your own private space somewhere. There's probably someone that's already done that. I don't think you saw it, so I'll say it again. I really want to say thank you for all the work you put into your YouTube videos. I've never seen such good video game content on the platform. Really? There are a bunch of other YouTubers that do similar videos to mine, that are, arguably better. There's the subreddit r video game analysis. Reddit is kind of a trash hole, but if you use Reddit for just a content aggregator or just a place where you can go onto a subreddit, the more specific an interest you have, the better Reddit becomes. And that video game analysis subreddit doesn't really have any good discussion or anything on there. When I was first starting out, I was trying to make there a discussion there, but I couldn't spark it, and then I just got too busy. But that's a good place to find a lot of different channels and everything. You can find some good channels there. I don't know. I feel like my content's changed over time. I look at older videos, and some of them I'm really happy with, some of them I'm not. I don't know. a lot of people have this criticism that I spend too much time on details and examples, and while I agree that sometimes it can get too much, like in the Odyssey video, there's been a lot of comments I've gotten over the years about how giving examples is a waste of time, and I really can't agree with that. There's a lot of content creators that I really enjoy that I think they make a lot of good points, but then they don't provide examples to back up their points, and it's kind of like, look, it's good for discussion and it's good for thinking about games, but a lot of the times that we're like watching the videos, you just have to take what they're saying on faith, and I don't really like to do that for the big meaty points in the videos, but sometimes I do. You planning on playing the Final Fantasy VII remake? Probably. We'll probably stream it. Thank you, Noodle Incident, for the 3-month resub. I'm here to represent the VOD squad. I will probably hear this while playing Rocket League later. Oh, nice. Good luck in Rocket League. I've never played that. Hopefully, I remember to actually ask a question tomorrow. JPH Pout. Well, thank you very much, Noodle Incident. Good luck with Rocket League, and shout out to the VOD boys. We rowdy. Isolated Spaceman has used 1,000 bits. Finally, we're saying it. Thank you very much, Isolated Spaceman. 1,000 bits is a lot of bits. That's way more than 5. Happy Christmas and Merry New Year, Lily. Oh, and for Joe too, I guess. It's not like I like your videos or anything but Baka. I don't know. Isolated Spaceman maybe has a little bit of a Lily crush.
Well, it's mutual. So thank you very much, Isolated Spaceman.
It happens to the best of us.
Lots of love to you.
I found your horror games don't scare me, and subjectivity is implied videos are your most controversial videos. Do you still stand by your opinions? Yeah, I think so. There might be a couple of those in those videos where I would clarify, but I don't think there's anything I would retract. It's really hard to take criticism on the horror video seriously because it is a purely subjective. So subjectivity and objectivity is something that's worth several books of discussion. So even though I can say that nothing when you're judging art qualitatively, or qualitatively, what would be the word there? It can't be objective because you cannot measure like good or bad. You can get closer to objective, so it's kind of like a spectrum. You can get closer to objective. So I would say that if two people make a video on a game, and one person just says their opinions, and then that's it, and the other person says their opinions, and those opinions are supported with examples and evidence from whatever they're discussing, I would say that the second person is more objective. And I would say that the other person is more subjective, but I would never say that the second person is objective. You know what I mean? Like they can be more and closer to it, but getting to objective is impossible because you can't measure good or bad. And because you can't measure good or bad, it's just a moot point. You know what I mean? So I would stand by them for sure. But that's what I mean. Like the first video is kind of like, it's hard to take any criticism seriously because you're basically telling me that my feelings are wrong. You know, like you can argue with the points, you know, like you're dumb to feel this way. That's fine. But to tell me that I'm like, a lot of the comments where I'm lying, you know, like I do find it scary and I just don't want to admit it. I'm trying to like stroke my big E penis over people. That was a lot of comments I got too, you know, like I don't believe you, or oh man, you're like weird flex, but okay. That was like a lot of the comments on that too. Like it's hard to take that criticism seriously. It's like, okay, well, I don't find them scary. I'm sorry. It's not like I'm pretending. You know, I wish I did. I would have a better experience if I did. Now that I have the VR headset, I think I could probably find VR horror games scary for a while before that same problem kicks in. Yeah. Yeah, I still stand by them. They're worthy of a deeper discussion. I don't like okay. See, those are two heavy topics, so I'm trying to focus on them like separately. I think the horror thing we can let go for now. I don't like this conversation that keeps cropping up. I see it on Twitter happening quite a bit with objectivity. It just feels like a really pointless waste of time. I think I suspect it's actually a semantic argument. I think that if a lot of people that think that there is objectivity that you can objectively measure, like the quality of art, I think that if you actually spoke with them for long enough, I think you would find out that it is just a semantic argument, that they just think that objectivity is when you provide proof for your points. But the problem is that I find that a lot of discussions end up with people doubling down, and they double down in a way that, no, you can measure good or bad, like this is objectively bad, you know, and it's like, okay, well, then you just ask the silver bullet that destroys that argument. Okay, what instrument are you using to measure good or bad? And then there's no answer. It just becomes a circular argument. I just think it's kind of a waste of time. It's not productive at all. I don't know. Like, we should just be discussing the art themselves, not whether if it's objectively good or bad. Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't, you don't gain anything from it. Yeah, I don't know. I think a more interesting question or an interesting discussion point would be if you watch something and it is something that you say it's so bad it's good. So like The Room, if it's so bad it's good, does that just mean it's good? That, I think that's a more interesting conversation. If something is so bad that it's good, like, is that just like a pussy way of saying I like this thing that most people is considered bad? Because I kind of feel like the answer is yes. Like, if you say it's so bad it's good, it's just good, just in a different way. Because I feel like then it becomes all about intentions, and you have to be like, okay, well, this was intended to be something else, but it isn't. And I don't think you should judge intentions when it comes to deciding if something is successful or not. I don't think intentions matter all that much. They do matter a little bit, but not all that much. Anyway, thank you, Luckiest Lobster. I love your name for the 100 bits. Hey, Joe, have you seen the new Star Wars yet? It reminded me a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That got spoiled so hard for me. So I did this tweet that let me put on the screen. So I did this tweet where I said that if I was spoiled, when I get spoiled of on Star Wars Rise of the Jaywalker, that I was going to put where is it? Do you see the banana? Banana Star Wars, is that it? Hold on, view medium icons. I just want to make sure I put the right one. Okay, so I was gonna tweet out this image when Star Wars Rise of the Jaywalker was spoiled for me, and it was a week, and then I tweeted it out again when it was spoiled for me. And then I got a message about an hour later from Shammy saying, people are asking me if Joe is okay because you tweeted out that banana. So people who hadn't seen it, because the tweet before that was about me finding my first gray hair, and then I found another one a couple hours later. So I think people were worried about me. So I thought it was funny. It's like, okay, you guys just didn't see the other tweet before this, but it kind of got spoiled slowly for me. So I actually almost tweeted out this the other day. Just the top of the banana. Like, some of it was spoiled for me, but not all of it. That's what I was going to tweet out, but I chickened out and I didn't do it, and a lot of people weren't going to get it. So it was spoiled for me in pieces, and then it got spoiled so much that I just went on Wikipedia and just read the whole plot synopsis, because having just a little bit of it spoiled for me, or well, not a little bit, having like half of it spoiled for me was so frustrating. It was kind of like, okay, fuck it, I just want to know the whole thing now, fuck it. So I just went in and I did it, and apparently, like, reading, I was like, oh wow, almost all this was spoiled for me already. So I'm not going to say anything about it, apart from it sounds really hella dumb, and this opinion matters almost zero, okay? Like, it is pretty much zero. I haven't seen it, but if it... Do one of you have, like, you have two dick holes on this thing? Really? Really? Wow. But judging from the spoilers that I've read and that synopsis, I think it sounds even worse than The Last Red Eye. So I'm shocked. It sounds absolutely awful and a complete waste of time. But I'd still like to see it eventually when it comes. Like, I don't think it's gonna come on Netflix, so I'm gonna have to, like, watch it on Disney Plus or whatever if I ever get that, and then I'll watch it and I'll be like, wow, this was pretty bad. But I haven't seen it. Thank you, Poet3322, for the 2-month resub. I'm a liar. You gifted a sub to Dave HS, or Davis. Daves? 2 months in the Dragon's Den. Thank you, Poet3322. You also gifted a sub to Rental Corpse. That's a really cool name, huh? When you want to do your murder mystery, get a Rental Corpse.
Get a Rental Corpse.
Nervous Arugula. That's a cool name, too. Applied Mimemics. These are all cool names. Oh, and the streak is over with Poo Nug. Thank you, Poet3322.
Poo Nug's just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Well, after Rental Corpse.
What if he's actually like a big piece of animated poo, and he's like, this is discrimination, this is bullshit. Thank you, Malevis, for the 21-3 sub. Hey, Joe, is it possible to put people's name on the screen without being too much work? Makes it way easier to find out if your question was answered. Really looking forward to the Witcher vid, especially after watching Netflix series. I could, but when the videos eventually go up on, these streams eventually go up on YouTube, their names are going to be up on the screen, so I don't want to double up. I could put in a text thing over the screen somewhere. I don't know. Is there an OBS option for just putting text on the screen? Let me see. If there is, that would actually make it easier for me. Text GDI? What's text GDI? Oh, okay. Well, it looks kind of crap, doesn't it? Is that because it's size 12 stretched? Select font, read from file, text transform, uppercase, lowercase, color, background opacity. Okay. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. It does look kind of bad though. I mean, I could put it up on the screen here. All right, we'll try and see if we can remember to do that. Okay, so let me change it to current question asker? Questioner? Current questions. No one. There's no one right now. And then we'll try and update that as we go. Okay. Scale to 1 size, change font size. I'm looking and there is no font size. I can select font. Oh, okay. It's under select font. Okay, I don't like Arial. All right, let's delete it. Every time I see Arial, I think of the System of a Down song. Okay, current question, no one. All right, so let's will it take the bold font? Nice, it will. All right, so 24. Whoa, that is so small. 72. It's just Finn being funny.
I'm gonna wake up everybody.
Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. That looks better, right?
That looks much better.
Okay, so current questions, no one, and we'll put them on the screen up there. Okay, in the middle of the screen, just a little off left. That looks better, right? Okay, current questions, no one. All right, that's good. All right, that'll save me some time actually for when we get to the next one. When we get to the next one, sorry, when it puts up on YouTube. Thank you for the suggestion, Malevis. Really looking forward to the Witcher vid, especially after watching the Netflix series. Did you like it, Malevis? Is Malevis here still? It was 40 minutes ago. Make the font papyrus. do. Could you tell us what your next project is on? The Witcher. Witcher 1, 2, 3, the books, Thronebreaker, and I talk about like 10 other games at the same time too. I make some references. I played all of the Mass Effect games too.
Levy says thank you, number 9 in line on Discord. So not likely my question is answered today, but still that helps with searching through the VODs.
Cool. Well, I hope it helps. And I'm glad you're still here. Thank you, Isaac9977, for the 313 sub. 2 to the 1, 2 to the 1, 2 to 3. 2 to the 1, to the 1 to the 3. Maybe I said it right there. Thank you, Isaac9977. Sorry, it took us so long to get to this. And the last three on my list, or 4 on my list, sorry. 003D, use 110 bits to say, as a streamer and reviewer who has greatly expanded on games you've played, EX anime games, how has your audience heavily expanding changed the way you interact with us and stream and such? Sorry if this is vague. This is fine. I think we've gotten a bit more memey. I think I've gotten more relaxed and I've let my usual like standard personality come out more. I said early on when we first started streaming that Stream Joe is way closer to real Joe than Video Joe, you know? Like any time you're making a video or you're streaming, there is going to be some essence of a performance. There's a performance. You could argue there's always a performance when you're talking to anyone. You know, you never show your true self to anybody, except for your waifu. But like there's always going to be some level there. Like it's a very unnatural place to be. You know, like it's not a usual thing to you know, be playing a game and talking to so many hundreds of people at the same time, or you know, narrating a video that's going to go up and going to be watched by like maybe millions of times. You know what I mean? It's very unusual. Like and that's like an extreme case. It's just getting it watched like thousands of times is really unusual. But I think we've gotten a bit more memey. I always think that, sorry, I've been thinking for a while now, I was talking about this in the Code Vein streams, that streaming is unique in that the audience gets to shape the content. So it's sort of like in a stand-up comedy show where the audience ever says anything unprompted to the comedian usually shuts them down. Oh, nice, it's the goose. Shuts them down, and any comment is taken as heckling. Some comedians will try and fish for comments from the audience on purpose because they want to build off the audience, and you know, that's fine. But it's pretty rare. Whereas streaming is it's like a video, but you get audience interaction, and the audience also gets to inform the content and make changes and everything. So it's very interesting. I can't think of another medium that's like that. Maybe improv, maybe. I don't know enough about improv to know that. I don't know if there are improv shows where the audience is allowed to shout out suggestions as they go. Probably, but I don't think they're all that common. So I think it's inevitable that the audience is going to shape the performer, and then the performer is going to attract a different kind of audience. And I think that's where the trap there to fall into, because this all sounds great in a vacuum, is that it leads to more extreme performance. You know, it's going to get to the point where it just keeps feeding into each other, where it just becomes so insulated. And I kind of think you can see that with even big streamers on Twitch, that you go in and it's just impenetrable. You know, like there's constant spam, there's all these inside jokes, there's just all these references and memes that you have no idea what any of them really mean, and it can be kind of off-putting. And I don't think we're there yet, but I think I would like to avoid getting to that point if we can. So as much as I do think that it's cool that the audience will inform the content and the streamer will change to it, and the video maker too. So the other side of YouTube is that the YouTuber will make content that gets the most views, you know, like, and that will make them pursue that content more. I try hard not to do that, but it still is a factor, considering that the videos are the main source of income that we have. As much as it is good that that's a thing and you can respond to that, and it's kind of beautiful in a way that the streamer and the audience get to change each other. I think that you should still be yourself on top of that, and you shouldn't let yourself be changed wholeheartedly. So like the weeb thing is the biggest joke. And the most prominent change I think that time has gone on, but I don't think I'll ever fully commit to it. I think we should, like, if anything, I think lately we should back off from it a little bit and take a step back. But I don't know, we'll see. I have fun, like especially the past couple months I've had a lot of fun with making jokes for you guys. You know, I think that ever since I think the Code Vein streams, it's been like, okay, like here's something I prepared for the stream, and try and take it a little more seriously, and have just don't show up on stream and just be like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen today. You know, like sometimes it's good for that to happen, but sometimes it's good to go in with like some plan sort of thing. And then like the Chan of the Year thing, I think it's fun to do those sorts of things, but I don't think it should be all the time. It's a little all over the place of an answer, though, but I hope it's something. Brucey has resubscribed for 3 months. Joe, please tell me I'm stuck in the Persona Pals. It's all I need in my life. JPH pout. Okay. Brucey, 3 months stuck in the Persona Pals. You're one of the Persona Pals, running around with Yusuke and Joker or Hoker, and whatever the hell the other people were called. I can't remember. They're all useless. So you appreciate the memes and being more laid back, but you don't like the audience being too extra? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think the perfect amount of viewers for us is probably about 1,000. I think that anything over 1,000 gets to the point where it's too much to keep track of, and I can't really keep track of chat anymore, and I can't really have a good interaction with you guys. I like being able to read chat, but it also depends on the game. Sometimes if the game is really demanding on me, there could be 5 people in chat, and I still wouldn't be able to read chat because the game is just taking so much of my attention. But when the game isn't that demanding, I can read chat. I would say about 1,000 is where I would say the cutoff is for us. For other streamers, it might be much higher. Our chat is usually extremely active. I've watched other streamers even recently, and they have so many more viewers than we do. And from what I can understand, they're legitimate too. They're not view botting, and often our chat is more active than theirs. So we have a very, very active chat. But I would say around 1,000 for us is after it goes above that, I get to the point where it's like, okay, I can't really keep up with chat interaction here. Most of my chat interaction is going to be I'm just reading bit donations and subs, and I don't know. There's always this pull though between.
Music is loud.
The music is loud?
Yeah.
Let's turn the master down too. We don't need it to be too loud. There's always this pull though between people that want you to have chat interaction. They want you to be that kind of streamer that is always interacting with their viewers, and then there's also the people that just want to watch someone play a game and comment on it as they go. So there's usually that back and forth, like rip Snow-chan. Like sometimes there's been people, it's like I want Joe to be able to concentrate more on the game, but then they'll also say, but at the same time I do like it when he reads stuff out on chat and reads out the messages and everything. So I don't know. I kind of pulled between two masters there. Kind of like I'm pulled between two masters on being a streamer or being a YouTuber. It's hard to do both, but you just can't put all your eggs in one basket, man. You can't. But we'll see what happens. There's always going to be a balance. That's okay. There's always going to be that thought in the back of your head. I could be doing things better. I should be doing things better. I should be criticizing myself and figuring out if how to improve. So even if all those current problems were solved, there'd just be new ones, and maybe some of them aren't solvable. You know? Does that make sense, Lily?
Yeah. Do you have a period of history that interests you, and have you ever seen a game that explored history in a satisfying way and made it more interesting?
I don't think so. Plague Tale's setting was interesting to me. I like the quasi fictional history of the Civilization games. You know, you get a bit of a taste for how Civilization developed in a very abstracted way, but it's kind of cool. You know, I can't think of any right now. Sorry. Maybe Assassin's Creed does it well too, but I haven't really gotten into the Assassin's Creeds, so I can't really answer that. Lily liked those games though. Really like the performance of Geralt's actor in Dandelion is perfect casting. This is Malevi's on the Netflix show. The actor of Geralt is also a huge nerd and read all the books and played the games. The author compared him to Aragorn in Lord of the Rings in terms of bringing a character to life. Still, I would critique the series because it has time skips and flashbacks, which aren't that easy to instantly recognize as such, especially for people who don't know the source. Overall, enjoyed it but didn't love it. That's kind of similar to the books too. The books have that problem too in some areas. As it goes on, I talk about this in the video. Spoilers. It becomes more. There's more of a disintegration of the narrative cohesion, for chronologically at least. I feel like this is almost word for word from the video, if I can remember exactly how I said it. I feel like Sapkowski got bored as he got on, and by the time the fifth book he was writing the fifth book, he was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get weird. And there's so many narrators within narrators and narrative framing in that book. Just it's to the point where it just comes across that he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this and see if it can work or not. And most of the time it does, but yeah, it sounds like it's done worse in the series, even though it is faithful. Hey man, I just wanted to tune in and really ask, is the Sekiro video scrapped, or is it happening anytime soon? The Sekiro video will come out after the Witcher video, and the Witcher video, you will hear more about that in January. I believe. I hope. But yeah, the Sekiro video and the Baba Zoo video will come out after the Witcher video. Sorry, the kids are making noise. We can know, and we're trying to make sure that they're okay. Sounds like they're fine. Is there anything in the game that anyone would like me to go and see? Like if you're in the game and you built something and you're standing right next to it and you're hoping I'll come over, just tell me and I'll teleport to you. Thank you, Lucian Maloney, for the 1,000 bits. Cheers for the rest of tier highlights video. You can thank Nick for that. Nick did a good job. That video, we've been sitting on that video for a while because we weren't sure if we were going to put the highlights on the main channel from now on, and I decided not to. I decided they should go on the second channel. So that's what we did, and there they are. There's another one, Persona 5 Highlight Part 2, that's going to go on the second channel. I think it might go up this week. I haven't decided yet. And I might do a super cut of them both together for an hour of highlights that can go on the second channel as well for 1 and 2. We'll see. I don't know what to do in the future for highlights. There's a lot of things to discuss. I think I might prefer if I had main channel videos that I could pass to Nick. I could write the script and he can collect the footage and he can go and make them and see how that goes, because there are some broad topic videos that I could pass on to somebody else, and that would save me quite a bit of work. But I don't know how much work it would save. I don't know if it would be worth it. And when it comes to highlights of the streams going forward, I think maybe it would be better if it was someone who watches the streams anyway. Does that make sense? Like someone who watches the streams and be like, they can make like a highlight reel and it can go up more naturally and more regularly, I think. I don't know. But I don't know how that would be fair in order to get that done in terms of money. But right now it's this is a cool little mansion. Oxymoron there. But right now, it's too far away off my mind. Too much being Witcher muddled. But thank you for the bits and the message, Lucy and Maloney. Thank you, Slosh, for the new sub prime. Welcome to Prime Time. Welcome to the Pickle Jar Slosh. We haven't answered a single question on the Q&A yet, Lily. You noticing that?
Yeah, I know.
We're just going. Maybe we're too tired to do this today. Sorry, guys, if you're eagerly awaiting us to answer the questions, but we're both kind of zonked after
Still
Christmas,
trying to get to a few of them, but I was hoping to get through some of them, you know, and it's not looking good.
I think I'm mostly on autopilot, that's why. So I'm just seeing a question, I'm just answering it, and I'm just going. And, yeah. Hope it's okay. Zonked. Yeah, zonked the word?
Fried. Fried? Fried. Is there anybody else to thank?
Is there like an architecture program for Minecraft where you can plan something and it'll give you a blueprint? Because I don't know how you do something like this and make sure it's like all symmetrical and stuff. It sounds like a lot of work. Huh. Thank you, Get Dunked On. Thank you very much. I appreciate the reference there. Thank you, Get Dunked On. Welcome to the Dragon's Den, the Yeet Fleet, whichever you prefer. If you're still here and you'd like to message me, I will welcome you to whatever your preference is. Thank you, Kid Primus, for the 7-3 sub. Nuclear Gandhi is superior to real world Gandhi. I've read some things like real world Gandhi was not a very nice person. So I don't know how much of that is true or not, but I read that he did some very questionable things, and it was like, when I was like hearing about it, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? So I don't know, but you know, you never meet your heroes, right? So there is what? Huh? An architectural program thing. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, cool. And last but not least, Action Cater user 100% to say, Joe, the last time I left the server, I died. My internet is really bad now. I tried joining the server. I'm stuck in the death animation. Joe, I'm stranded in death. I'm still in Death Stranding. Well, I'm relieved because I was worried I was gonna have to do some admin stuff to save you there, but it turns out it was a meme, so I'm happy about that.
Good night, my lovies.
You're Death Stranded. Thank you, Carlos.
Sorry you're feeling kind of shit tonight. I saw that message earlier. Hope you feel better later.
Milavi's is feeling shitty?
No, Carlos.
Oh, Carlos?
Hopefully it's just a holiday thing, because the holidays are almost over, so hopefully then you'll feel better too. It's a stressful time of year.
So let's answer some questions, but let's get to a nice spot Let's go stand on the hay-hays. Shit.
Yeah, basically that.
There we go.
Well, they're almost over, so just hang in there a little bit longer.
Sorry if you've been asked what any games you recommend for the Switch. Just got one. Breath of the Wild, Odyssey. If you really love Mario games, don't take my opinion as gospel on that. But Breath of the Wild is probably the best game on the Switch. I really like for portable games. I really like having Stardew Valley on the Switch. I really like having Enter the Gungeon on the Switch, but Enter the Gungeon does not run all that well on the Switch. So I can't talk about the Switcher 3. And that's it for me right now. I think. Trying to think if there's anything else I play regularly on there. Well, I don't play it much at all actually right now. There's like a collection of NES and Super Nintendo games that you can get if you get a Nintendo Online, which I don't remember getting, but somehow we have it. So I don't know if the kid, turned that on, but I think it's better to view the Switch as a portable indie machine and see what kind of indie PC games that you like and see if they're available on the Switch, and then you have it. That can be a good way of treating the Switch. Anyway, so let us start the questions. Let us go with, we'll do this one from Dimension Tripper, and then we'll go over to Carlos on Patreon, because Dimension Tripper doesn't have a question. Dimension Tripper has a request. Okay? All right, so Dimension Tripper wants Lily and I to voice act this scene between Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Eggman. So Lily will read something, and then we will do our horrible best.
Whoever does Shadow should also do Eggman.
You think so?
Because Sonic is consistently in the whole scene, but Shadow makes only an appearance, and then Eggman makes a brief appearance. I read it already.
Okay.
So
I'll do Eggman and Shadow, and you can do Sonic. Okay?
Do you want me to read the whole thing, though?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Like the Hey Lily part?
Oh, yeah, read that. Yeah. But 1 second. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, Dimension Tripper. There we go. All right.
Hey Lily and Dada Ponjo Dezu? Is that how you say it? Desu or Dezu? Is it like a Z?
I know how to say it, but I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Thanks for the wholesome weeb content and very anime intellectual talks you guys provide. They really speak to my Uno brain cell. But in seriousness, thanks for making life more bearable amidst I can't say that.
Admit,
I can't say it at all. This doesn't bode well for the rest of the scene. Some tough times.
Amidst.
They're having some tough times.
Amidst.
First time asking a question, so I really hope I don't screw this up and waste the chance on asking something not very deep and meaningful.
Oh, okay.
Kappa. Since you have now both debuted as professional voice actors, I was hoping I could ask you guys to read a small excerpt from one of the greatest gaming moments of existence. Hopefully flex a small amount of your talent and pick whatever voice you would like for the 3 incredibly deep characters. And I don't know this, so I don't know Sonic the Hedgehog? I don't know what they're supposed to sound like.
So Sonic kind of sounds like Finn when he's doing his "Gonna get you, monster. Here we go." So Sonic's line here is, "Phew, so far so good." So he'd be like, "Phew, so far so good." Okay? He'd be sort of like that.
Oh no. Okay. Phew, so far so good. Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog again of all places.
I found you, faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even good enough to be my fake.
I'll make you eat those words.
After fighting Shadow, Eggman from Shadow's Walkie.
Shadow, what are you doing? Hurry and get back here right now before the island blows up with you on it!
Blows up?
Shadow listens to the message and leaves.
I gotta get out of here and find Amy and Tails right away.
What fucking game is that from?
Thanks for indulging me if you even do, and I hope you guys continue to be able to produce the content that you do and give me something I can smile for. Well, I hope that made you smile more than it made you cringe.
Alright. Fucking
So
hell.
now we're going to Carlos, right?
Now we're going to Carlos, yeah. You know, next time...
Oh, they're here?
Next time people are gonna fucking say this, they're gonna get us more to do more shit. Now do the Sonic Adventure fan dub Eggman scene where he announces to the world that Knuckles is pissed on his wife. I don't know that one. I don't know Sonic fucking copy pasta. I don't know any of that. Oh my god.
Don't forget to put Carlos on the screen.
I hope that was worth it. Dimension Tripper. Okay. Carlos S.
Hey, Joe and Lily. How are you guys doing tonight?
I think you already know the answer to that. We're kind of tired, but we're doing okay.
These are my questions for this month. I've recently been replaying Dark Souls 1, Bloodborne, and playing Dark Souls 3 for the first time. I've also really loved Sekiro and even platinumed the game on PS4. Now that some time has passed since you finished From Software's newest game, I would like to know what you think about all of them, including Dark Souls 2, nowadays, and how your opinion might have changed as the years, in Sekiro's case, months, went by. Also, any wishes for Elden Ring?
So I haven't played them much recently, and I was just thinking the other day. I don't know what I was watching. I even said it on stream. Maybe it was just we were playing Code Vein. I was like, it makes me want to go back and play Dark Souls. I feel like those were games. I don't want to say I feel like. Those were games I used to replay regularly. Even after the channel was first formed, like I would still go back in and dick around with Dark Souls 1 and 2 before 3 even came out and before I played Bloodborne. So I didn't know what the channel was going to be when I first launched. So there's all these different things. I was thinking, okay, what could it be? Am I going to be like a variety channel? Am I going to do? Is it always going to be these critiques and reviews sort of thing? Like one of the things I've said before, which is just kind of crazy, was that before I started the channel, I was like, what if this gets so big that I end up going on the co-optional podcast? And then I did. So it was really surreal for that to happen, because that's one of those kind of things that, you know, people say to themselves, haha, it's never going to happen, and it did happen. I was like, what the fuck? So it's like, so I didn't know what kind of channel I was gonna be, and one of the ideas I had in my head was that if I was gonna be a Let's Player at the same time, that I might do challenge runs of video games that are kind of clipped together. And it was one of the ones I had in my head was I try to do Dark Souls, try to beat Dark Souls without dying. So in my head, I had all these moments where I would just record attempts, and I would just fast forward through each of them until the moment that I died, until finally it would show the playthrough where I get through it all and all the tense moments and everything. So I was playing them regularly, actually trying to practice and to get better at those games, because those are games you can always improve yourself with. And I had all these like funny moments planned where I would be like, and a run ends when I say, I can totally make that jump, and then I just cut to black, and then I just increase the death counter up by 1 because I didn't make the jump. I don't even have to show it, like that sort of thing. So I had a lot of cringy ideas, as you can tell. So those games used to be something I used to play and replay over and over and over again. And I haven't played them. I don't think I've played through Dark Souls 1 and 2 since I finished the video on Dark Souls 3. I don't think I've gone back and played any of them apart from briefly the remaster. I haven't touched 2, haven't touched 3 again since I did the DLC video. I haven't played Bloodborne again since I beat Bloodborne, except for maybe I went in and got some footage for the Dark Souls 3 video, but I don't think so. I think I reused some of my Bloodborne footage, so I haven't played them again in a long time. It's weird. I feel like some people think I'm a Souls channel, you know, like I made my small amount of fame off of Dark Souls and From Software content, but I really didn't. Like, if anything, I'm a Bethesda channel. Like, those are my biggest videos. Like the Fallout videos are huge. Fallout 4 1 year later is just constantly getting a bunch of views. God of War is a bigger deal on the channel than Dark Souls. Uncharted and The Last of Us is a bigger deal on than that. So it's kind of weird to realize that, you know, like the Dark Souls videos weren't really all that big of a deal. Like, I've said it before, and I'll probably say it again after I say it right now, is that like, if the in case of emergency break glass video from me to get a huge chunk of views is a video on Skyrim. And like doing Fallout 1, 2, and then 3, and then New Vegas as well. You know, like, here we go. Like, this is the video on Skyrim fucking 10 years later or whatever. But that would be kind of copying Racevec. When I did the Fallout 4 1 year later, I didn't know about Racevec's channel. And if I had known, I probably wouldn't have called it that, because I didn't realize that there was another channel that had that kind of naming convention. So I wouldn't want to do that. But like a critique of Skyrim or whatever, that would be the big like thing that I could do, not another video on Dark Souls. You're a weeb channel, don't deny it, says Carlos. Like, you say that, and I know you're kidding, kind of, but I do wonder sometimes if I did a video on Persona 5, would that do well on the channel? I think it would, but if I did a video on Danganronpa, would that do well? I kind of feel like it wouldn't. I feel like Persona 5 has enough like mass appeal that everyone would be like, oh, Persona 5, I know what that is. Whereas I think that more than half of my audience, if I did a video on Danganronpa, they would be like, what the fuck is a Danganronpa? You know, like that JonTron line, what the fuck is a Sonic? I think that's how they would react to that. So I still would like to do that one day, but yeah, whatever. So I can't really answer this question all that well. Sorry, Carlos. I think that Dark Souls 1 is probably gonna be my sweetheart pick, because it was just Dark Souls 1 was so important to me because it revitalized my love of games in some way. So when I was I don't know, in my early 20s, but well, okay, so before my early 20s, I only really played games for the story. So like when I was a kid, I played them for like platformers, because that's what I really wanted to play, and I like Nintendo games, you know. And then after that, around Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, I just was really interested in video game narrative. So as I got older, like I still did play some games, especially for the gameplay, but like I was really into like Metal Gear Solid, into Final Fantasies as they came out, you know, Baldur's Gate. I really wanted to play video games as an exploration of narratives. And then I don't know when it happened, but sometime in my late teens, early 20s, I just got into this funk where I was like, video game stories suck. I fucking hate them. Like, fuck this. I'm just gonna play World of Warcraft. I'm sick and tired of these shitty ass stories that are in video games, and it's just like the video game stories are just getting worse and worse and worse as time goes on. And then I played Dark Souls, and something about Dark Souls clicked me over like just hard to the other side, and it was just, oh yeah, video games can have really, really compelling gameplay too. Fuck, you know, like, how did I forget about this? How did I forget about how much I loved Devil May Cry? How did I forget how much I loved that side of games? That, like, who gives a fuck about the story? I can just ignore it, and I can just have like this exploration of like mechanical depth and exploring those systems. And I don't know why it took Dark Souls to get me back into that place, but it did. So Dark Souls is really important to me. Dark Souls kind of rekindled, you know, the bonfire of my heart. No, it really struck me and kind of got me reinvested. I think I was pretty close to just giving up on games before I played Dark Souls. And I just wanted games to be social experiences, and I just wanted to play multiplayer games with my friends. You know, I played World of Warcraft, League of Legends, get into a shooter. Like, if it wasn't for Dark Souls, I would probably be big into like PUBG and stuff right now, and I'd be playing that with a group. So like, Dark Souls, I almost said your name out loud because it came up on the screen there, Carlos. Like, Carlos Souls 1, Dark Souls was very important to me. So it's always going to have a good place in my heart, even though I think that the last half of it is very, very flawed. Dark Souls 2 is also important to me, because without Dark Souls 1 and 2, and honestly, without Matthew Matosis' video on Dark Souls 2, I wouldn't have a channel, because without that, I wouldn't have gone into, you know, like you know what, internet, fuck you, you're wrong, I have to make this video, you know, and then I wouldn't have a channel, because that's what I wanted to do. Like the whole motivation behind the channel, you know, there was some financial incentive too, and hopefully that this would lead to something, either that's on its own, or getting, like, supporting the books that we had written. But like the big drive was, you know, like, fuck you guys, like, everyone's shitting on Dark Souls 2, and some of it is rightfully shitting. Like, Dark Souls 2 is not better than Dark Souls 1, but like there's all these problems in Dark Souls 2 that are apparently unforgivable that Dark Souls 1 does too, and no one talks about them. And it still kind of annoys me that I get these comments on the Dark Souls 2 video that are like, you know, this is a fucking stupid apologist video, you know, like, a sequel should always expand on what the first game does, and that's why it's not acceptable. It's like, yeah, but that's true, I agree with you. However, it's not that, oh, these were problems in the first one, and in the second one, like, why didn't they fix it? It's like, no one fucking complains about them in the first one. These were not brought up. It's like everyone just ignores them. It wasn't like, oh, these are the problems of Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 doubled down. It's like, no, we don't even talk about them. So that's why it was annoying. It annoyed me. And then Dark Souls 3 was just kind of like a just a really refined version of Dark Souls 1 without the genius of the world design. And then Bloodborne was a little closer to it, you know, like it had some twisty world design that I enjoyed, but I really love the atmosphere of Bloodborne. I really love the combat. I really love the monsters and the boss designs. The DLC is fantastic. The DLC in all of them is fantastic. Like Dark Souls 2 is probably, the DLC in Dark Souls 2 is probably still, if I can cut pieces of content out of all that whole series, like it's probably still my favorite out of all of it. Like, I don't know, like maybe the Old Hunters is might take it if I played it again. I liked it. I really love the bosses in Old Hunters, but like all the DLC in Dark Souls 2, I just love it so much. Like it's so good. So I don't know, but I feel like Sekiro has definitely the best combat system, and Bloodborne has just the best atmosphere and setting and monster design. I feel like these games have very low lows and very high highs, and I would say that the one that like hit the two that hit the baseline, like they have the best average, are Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. So like I could say I can make an argument for any of them being my favorite at the time, but I would say that Dark Souls 1 is like my big sweetheart one that I always gonna love the most, because it was really important to me, and it really brought me back from a video game funk. Dark Souls 2 I owe a lot to, because otherwise I wouldn't have the channel. Dark Souls 3 is just this really even experience that is disappointing in some ways, because it just plays it safe, but you know what, I'm okay with some games that play it safe when it's this kind of content. Bloodborne is just magical. It just has just an amazing setting and atmosphere, and just this aggressive combat that's really good, but it has really bad frame rate. And Sekiro just has just the best combat system out of all of them. The worst setting, I think, but I'm okay with that. And lacks a bit on enemy variety as well, but again, I can look the other way on that too, where they were trying something new. But I would really like to play all of them again. Maybe it's like I can make a quick video at some point, like end of decade, looking back at From Software stuff. Because like in this whole conversation, I didn't even talk about Demon Souls, right? I've only ever beaten Demon Souls once. It's my least favorite of them, like handily. I find it's quite flawed in a lot of ways, and it just doesn't have that refinement that the other games do. But I've only played it once, so I played it after Dark Souls 2, I think. I went Dark Souls, Demon Souls, then Dark Souls 2, and then I played them in order after that. So yeah, I should go back and play Demon Souls again. Worst setting? Yeah, I don't like Sekiro's setting. I don't like that. I don't like it in Nioh either. I don't like that kind of setting. It's not a bad setting. It's not like I'm not sitting there where arms crossed going, this is fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like but it's not my my preferred setting. There was only one part of Sekiro, I think maybe two, that I thought were really good. The level at the end, you know what I'm talking about. The big surprise level toward the end was just like, I actually went downstairs and got Lily and brought her upstairs to show it to her, because it was just gobsmackingly gorgeous. It was like, holy fuck. But that was like the only time in Sekiro that I was like, holy fuck, that's just such a beautiful place. Whereas Bloodborne, it was kind of like that the whole time. So I don't know. Well, Bloodborne has some level variety problems, but yeah. Which level? The how can I say this without spoilers? The last wholly new level that you go to. The wet place. There we go. Yeah, the wet place. There you go. After the monk. The monk. Yeah, so that's all I can say, Carlos. I would like to play them again. and maybe it'd be a cool video, and it'd probably be an easy video to make too, because it wouldn't be about, oh, here's some hitbox analysis or whatever. It would just be comparisons between them all, and I think that might make a fun video. But that'd be out of my comfort zone as well. Usually I like just to make videos. It's about one game or one series in this very kind of like rigid kind of plotted way. But comparisons between them broadly like that is not something I do very often. But I would enjoy to do it, like get on my comfort zone a little bit. That might be fun. And it gives me an excuse to play them again too. I want to play Sekiro again, which surprises me, because after I played Sekiro so much, I didn't think I would want to play it again, but I kind of do. Since I saw it win Game of the Year, I'm like, oh, cool, I want to go back in and play Sekiro, you know? That would be fun. Like, I wonder how many of my Sekiro skills are still valid. I wonder if I could beat the last boss on my first try. And that's it. Did Carlos have another question?
Yes. What Final Fantasy has the best story in your opinion, and which one is your favorite overall? I know you haven't played all of them, but hey, for myself, I don't really know which one has the best story, but in general, 7 is my favorite and has a whole package. 6 is the best one.
So I've played Final Fantasy 1, I've played Final Fantasy Mystic Quest or Mystical Quest, I can't remember what it's called. I've played Final Fantasy... Okay, I'm going by the Japanese numbering, not the American one. I've played Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6. I have not played 2 and 3. I've played 7, 8, 9, most of 10, 11 for a little bit, most of 12. No, I beat 10. Most of 12. I like maybe 10 to 15 hours of 13. I've played 14 just very briefly with Weeaboo Bill one night. I just went in and I tried it out like a long time ago. It's probably a different game now, and I haven't touched 15 at all. And I haven't really played any of the spin-offs either. 6 is my favorite. I think 6 has the best story. I think 6 is really, really good. It's not the first one I played, but it was the first one I really got into. 6 is a candidate for my favorite game ever. I go back and forth on which is the best RPG on the Super Nintendo between Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 6. I think 6 has a really dark story, and it's very surprising, and it deals with more mature themes than you might expect. It's still not, an adult game, but well, in some ways it is. Like there is okay. So here's some spoilers for Final Fantasy 6. If you don't want to know the spoilers, like click off for a little bit. Like I'm just gonna say them briefly, and then we'll go on. Like, okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like Final Fantasy 6 deals with loss and genocide and suicide, and one of the main characters, like, depending on how you play, might try to kill themselves at one point, even though you're in control of them. Like the main group in that game fail halfway through the story, and in the way that you're playing it and how long it takes to get to that point, you would be forgiven for thinking that you're getting close to the end, especially if you're not all that familiar with Final Fantasy games. Like you think, okay, here's the big confrontation and everything, and here we go, and then no, you fail, you lose, and you have to go through this huge like licking your wounds recovery time, and it's just like, it's like, holy shit, like, and you it's not even like, oh, you fail, try again. Like, you have to really go through like the ringer trying to recover your party. The world is permanently changed. It's like a really cool way of using the medium to like show you, like, every single time you're flying around in the new world, it's like, you know, look how much you fucked up. Look how much you fucked up. Like, everyone is in a worse place than they were before. World of Ruin versus World of Balance. Sorry, not the new world. But you guys know what I mean. Like, you don't even have to recover all your party. Like, you can go to the end. Like, there are choices there too. Like, there are some party members that you might never see again if you just don't want to, or you don't find them, you know. Some of them are very hard to find. Like, even some of your favorite characters are hard to find. Like Locke is really hard to find, you know. Like, it's really fucking difficult to get Locke back in the party, and he's like second character that you get, you know. Like, it's a really, really great experience. I really enjoy Final Fantasy 6, and I'd be really interested in playing it again as an adult. It's been a long time since I played Final Fantasy 6 again. So Final Fantasy 6 is by far my favorite. I think spoilers are over now. I think we can move on. If anyone wants to type in chat, story like spoilers are over. I also think that Final Fantasy VI has gameplay that doesn't really get in the way. You know, like Final Fantasy VI, it's like all those Super Nintendo RPGs, apart from maybe Earthbound. It's very quick. You know, it's like, okay, select. You can even hold down the attack button and it just like and it just queues up all the attacks for you. Whereas later on, like Final Fantasy VII has that problem where, you know, Knights of the Round is really cool the first time you watch it, and then the second time you cast it and you're like, oh yeah, I get to see it again, and the third time you're like, oh wow, this is a long animation, and then the fourth time you're like, I'll just cast Ultima instead. You know, like it's I feel like those games are quick, and I don't really like the turn-based combat quite a bit that much, so I appreciate that it's quick. But I don't really remember 7 all that much. I hate to admit this because it's going to hurt my credibility only a tiny little bit, though. I've never finished 7 on my own. So the way that I think I've been like in control of the characters in almost every single part of that, especially the last part. I don't think I've ever done Midgar by myself, but everything else I've done mostly by myself. So that I didn't have a PlayStation when Final Fantasy 7 came out. So I was like going to different friends' house that had PlayStations at the time, and they all had the game, and then when I eventually did have a PlayStation, I was like borrowing like discs from people. So there was like one person that had Final Fantasy 8, I think, and it was like, okay, he's on disc 3 and I'm on disc 2, and another one of our friends is on disc 1. You know, like it was that kind of level of sharing the different discs of those games because they all came on different discs. That was like actually a really fun part of that when I was a teenager. But yeah, I didn't have a PlayStation when Final Fantasy 7 came out, so I was playing it like in different sections at different friends' house, and they were at this part, or they were at that part, and everything like that. So I got to experience that game kind of like proxy, and I think I kind of enjoyed that. But I don't know if that makes me not like Final Fantasy 7 as much. Like as much as I do like that game and I have nostalgia for it, I think I prefer Final Fantasy 8. And I didn't really like Final Fantasy 9. Like it was okay. I don't like Zidane. I don't like him as a main character. I like Cloud. I like Squall. I really do not like Zidane. I don't like Van. I like Lightning. Lightning's fine. And I'm not sure if I would like the main characters in Final Fantasy 15. I think I would, but yeah, just I don't know. It sounds weird, but whenever there's a short blonde guy as, you know, like a short manlet as as the main character of Final Fantasy, I'm kind of like, oh man, like, do we have to? Like, I feel like this is gonna go poorly. Because Titus is sort of the same way. Like, I don't really like Titus as a main character. I'm sorry. I really don't like him. He's probably the best out of the three, out of Van and Zidane. But like, I don't really like Titus. I don't really remember Final Fantasy X all that much. I remember being really annoyed that it didn't have an overworld. And that made me even think, okay, is this even a Final Fantasy game? It was something completely different. But I don't really remember it that much. I did finish it though. I remember that game. That game was so gorgeous when it came out. Just the water effects in the CGI too, and sorry, in the cinematics. Oh man, that was just so good. Oh man, but I think the biggest fallback is like Zidane is at least a character. Like it is Zidane's story, and it is somewhat Titus' story too. Or Titus is along for the ride with whatever Yuna as well, you know. But he is part of it, you know. Whereas Van is just kind of like Van and Van's dwarf girlfriend is just kind of like, yeah, we're here, yeah, where are we going, all right, okay. Whereas Balthazar and what's the other guy's name, shit, I can't remember his name. Barth, no, it's not Barth, what's his name?
Balthazar is such a good name.
What's the other guy's name in Bash? There we go. I thought it started with a B. Yeah, whereas I like those characters and I was like invested in their characters, and Balthazar's like hot Wookiee partner. But like, yeah, I think it lost me somewhere around there. Like around 10, I think I lost interest. But yeah, like 9 was okay. It's like my least favorite of the PlayStation ones. I'm sorry, did I just blow some things up? No, okay, we're good. It's my least favorite of the PlayStation ones, but I think I prefer 8. If I played 7 by myself, I think maybe 7 might be my favorite. I will say this for 7. 7, like the polygon models when they're walking around the environments look kind of bad when you take them out of context, but at least they don't stick out as much as the shitty ones in Final Fantasy 8 and 9. Like, oh my god, you look back and see them. Like, don't look at the remasters, look at the original versions, and just those weird blurry messes that walk around on those like pre-rendered backgrounds are just like, what the fuck, right? And I think I would prefer the battle menu models, but maybe they didn't have the processing power to do that. But like, holy shit, I didn't really like that. I think that, yeah, 6 is like comfortably my favorite. 6 is the best story. Like Final Fantasy 4 is a bit too melodramatic and a bit too cheesy for me, but I did enjoy it at the time. I'd like to. I think I got the 3D DS version. I played that again, and that was kind of cool, and that's made it a bit more serious and a bit more tolerable with the cheesiness. But like at the time, I enjoyed it as a kid, but now it's kind of like, oh wow, the constant suicidal characters to save you is kind of like, whoa, what the hell. But yeah, I enjoyed it at the time. But yeah, 6 is comfortably my favorite. I don't really remember 5 all that much. I remember playing a ROM of it. I didn't have, like, that game didn't come out in the West. I don't know if 5 got a remake or not. And 7 and 8 I remember fondly. And Tifa's best girl. There we go.
Also, quick ones. Have you played Vanquish? Is it worth it? It'll be released on the current platforms next year, and I'd like to give it a shot since I've never played it.
I would like to play Vanquished, yeah, but I haven't. Not yet. Not yet. It looks like fun. I think I would enjoy it. Oh, I didn't answer Carlos's question about Elden Ring. I don't really know if I have any wishes for Elden Ring. Like, I've heard that it's going to be open world, and I don't know if I'm happy about that or not. Like, I'm not gonna say open, like a interconnected world or anything like that. I'm letting that go. I think I would like just a lot of enemy variety and a combat system that it doesn't necessarily have to be as much as Sekiro, but be more than base Dark Souls, unless there's going to be a shit ton of enemy variety.
And you still have a beard and longer hair, are you, Geralt? And Madbake has fan art.
I don't have longer hair anymore. There was a time, I think right before we moved to Moncton, I stopped cutting my hair, and I don't think I cut my hair for 2 years, was it? Or was it?
I don't even know. It was a long time though. It was really
yeah,
long.
But a couple months ago I shaved my head, and it's grown back to be like some length right now. And the beard I've been keeping long. Yeah, I usually have longer hair and a longer beard. And I, like, specifically when I went on the co-optional and I did that stream where I was playing Hat in Time, I changed how I looked a little bit. Like, I cut my hair shorter and I trimmed my beard because I wanted to look different than I usually look. Because this sounds so fucking stupid, but like any level that I can put, like, between, you know, probably not getting recognized in public, even though, like, it shouldn't really be a consideration, but just in case, I was like, okay, I value my anonymity. Then, you know, like, whenever I make it like an appearance like that, I probably will try and make myself look different. But I don't know. I look better with longer hair and the beard. I don't know if I've ever come close to being recognized. I know there are some people who live in Moncton that know that we're in Moncton, and that kind of scares me a little bit because Moncton is a very small place. And there have been times where I've been speaking to someone and they're like, hey, what do you do? And I'm honest. And then they're like, oh, my family member is really into that. What's your name? And I'm like, fuck. You know, so I try to distance myself a little bit from that. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's something I need to let go, because it's going to be too hard to maintain. I really like having a beard.
Once again, thank you for all the amazing content you produce. I always show your videos to my friends, and 100% of them seem to end up enjoying it very much and subscribing.
Oh, thanks, Carlos. I'm glad that they like it.
Happy holidays to you guys and the kids. Here's to an amazing 2020.
Right back at you, Carlos. Thank you so much. It's always good to see you. Carlos, I think, is not to make it a competition or anything, although it totally is a competition. Carlos is one of the nicest people we have in the community.
Mm-hmm. It has been since the beginning.
Been around for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was fan art, you said?
Yeah, Mad Bake did something. I think they put it on Discord, I'm not sure. Because Nadia was like, don't don't look at it. But then Mad Bake is like, it's here. So I don't know. I don't know what you've done.
Yeah, Tifa is best girl of Final Fantasy VII. Best girl overall in Final Fantasy? I don't know. That's a tough one. Is there like a... Final Fantasy girls. Lightning's alright. Rihanna is just flat Tifa, right? I don't like the brunette from Final Fantasy 9.
I like her hair.
Who?
The
This
kind
one?
of grayish, blondish one.
I think that's from Final Fantasy 15. We haven't played that one. Probably Tifa. Probably Tifa.
Okay, Mad Bake.
Queen Latifah. Q&A streaming, but it is cursed. That really is cursed. Dun, 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 dun. This is in reaction to Lily and I furthering our voice actoring career. Oh, man. Okay, so first of all, thank you for that, Matt Bake. Also, how could you? How dare you? Do you guys think that Sonic the Hedgehog movie always had this Sonic design that they're pushing forward now is new and improved, and they did the old one just to drum up like support conspiracy theory style? Because the first design, like, it wasn't just a little bad, like, it was really bad, especially when you compare the two of them. It was really, really bad. So I don't know if that's like a conspiracy that's possible or whatever. They literally had to close a CGI studio for this. Yeah, but that's just all part of the ruse cruise. Come on. Like they would only have to do the trailer parts, right? I don't know. If the full thing is released with the old version, like as extra DVD content or whatever, then okay, I think that's it confirmed. They wouldn't do the whole thing. But why would they delay the movie for like a year? That's part of it. That's part of it. Whatever like momentum they can build up. I don't know. Like, it's so bad. Joe, movies are as bad as video games now, are they? Man. Maybe. I don't watch a lot of new movies. That's so good, Mad Bake. Thank you.
I like how the eyes match with her.
But Cats got released and looks like that. But is Cats also trying to be so bad it's good? I don't know. But Cats is like not a beloved video game character that already has those designs. I don't know if like Cats the musical had enough for them to work on. I don't know. Cats looks really bad. Thank you, Rabbit of Doom, for the 14-month resub. Hey, Joe, hope your Christmas was great and that you guys have a happy new year. Christmas is pretty great.
Rabbit of Doom. I always love Rabbit of Doom.
The boys had a lot of fun, and Kate was there. But yeah, Leo really got it. Leo just kept wanting to open presents, and even when all the presents were open, he still wanted to open more presents, and it was like, that's all there is.
We gave them one present they could open the night before.
Yeah.
on Christmas Eve, and he thought that was it.
Yeah.
Remember you were asking him about it, and he was just kept saying dinosaur?
I told Ilsaroth about that, actually. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Yeah. He got a dinosaur on Christmas Eve, and he thought that was all that he was getting for Christmas. Because it's his first Christmas, he doesn't know. He's like, okay. So when we woke him up on Christmas morning, he was like, Christmas so good. I want dinosaur. And he thought that was it. And he went downstairs and he saw all the presents. And he was like, oh, presents! And yeah, he had a lot of fun. So it was good. It was a good day. Thank you, Tal69, for the 213 sub. Chat, which of the sub thanks phrases is the cringiest? I think it was thank you for subbing from your super slithering senpai. I think that's the cringiest one. Or thank you for buying your ticket to the subway train, all aboard, full stream ahead. I think those are the two worst ones, the two cringiest ones. The waifu womb. Okay, so it's 1:20. When did we start? A little before 11?
11:20.
How long have we been live for?
We were late today. We were almost half an hour
So
late.
we're live. We've been live for 2 hours, so we have probably an hour left. All right, so do you want to continue on with Patreon? Do you want to alternate back and forth, or
Yeah,
what?
it's just alternate back and forth.
Okay, so next up is on Twitch. Oh my god, there's so many questions. Okay, Assistant Weeby. Some of these are really long too. Okay, I think we're going to be doing this into March. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's fine. Do. Okay, Assistant Weeby. With a spoiler at the bottom.
Hey Joe, it's your friendly neighborhood weeb. Good job on getting Madoka spoiled. I expected nothing less of you. Did you think I would forget? To repent for your sins, you should either enable Ayaya or watch Madoka and review it on your main channel. And it's the Sipping Dragon.
Nah, I'm good. I won't do either of those things. If you want to enable Ayaya, you know the terms. You can be a weeb, but you gotta pay.
You're not going to promote Assistant Weeby?
Nope.
No. Here are the questions. I prepared them a month in advance, then forgot half of them and asked the other half on Discord.
That's the way.
There have been lots of times when a certain streamer gets so big, some parts of their community get a bit too infatuated with them. A couple of dating streamers had their movements tracked by a fan Discord server. Another streamer's house got shot at multiple times. Someone else had an FBI squad called on them, etc. Have you gotten into any situations with stalkers or creepy fans or anything of the sorts? If no, then how would you deal with something like that?
Is that the whole question?
I don't expect much from the first question, but it's Joe, you never know. I know you pre-read questions before, and I was planning to edit this one in right before stream, but 5 a.m. is too late for me. And then the second one is
Oh,
spoiled.
okay. So actually, we did not read the questions beforehand for this one. We didn't have time, so we might read them ahead of time for the other ones. But yeah, we didn't this time. So these are all new to us. We were kind of just talking about that actually. So there are layers of things, you know, that we try to keep separate. I don't like lies. I like to be honest. It's one of my big things. But there have been times when we have lied to you, just like we just bent the truth a little bit. So there is a way for us to keep privacy. You know, like if I've ever said something is nearby, I might have lied about how near that is or the distances of things, you know, that sort of thing. Just to like make it a little more difficult in order for us to be identified, that sort of thing. Like I said, when I went on like Facecam, I made myself look different than I usually do. Not by a whole lot, but enough, you know. There are things we backed off on. Like originally we weren't going to say the kids' names, but that just turned out to be way too hard. You know, like you probably end up hearing them in the background anyway. So we put some layers like that in between. between us and reality just to keep there some separation. I'm sure that if someone had enough hacking know-how, they could find us. You could find anyone, you know, like it's not all that difficult if you're that motivated and you're that skilled. But you know, the amount of people that have those kind of skills that would actually give a shit are pretty rare. So it's just about keeping there some barriers for some people that might give a shit but don't have that amount of expertise. That's how I view it anyway. I don't think there's been any time that I've had a run-in with someone who has like known who I am, although there have been times when I've been talking to people or when I've gone into a video game store that I'm kind of like, shit, you know, like, if is anyone gonna recognize my voice? I think that the one thing is I sound do you think I sound different in person than I do on the recordings?
I think everyone sounds a bit different.
Yeah, so like if I'm in the room with you, it's gonna sound different.
Even myself, I listen and you sound different to yourself, but I can listen to myself on one stream and listen to myself on another stream and I sound different on both of them. And I think when you start to get tired, your voice sounds different and
yeah,
you know.
You know, there have been times where what if there's someone who watches the videos that's like a food delivery driver and they come to the door and you know they know they're like somewhat of a big fan, like they know Joseph Anderson lives in Moncton and they deliver food to the house, and while they're delivering they hear us like, Finn and Leo, get into the back, you know, here we go, it's food time, you know, that's all it would take, you know, so it's like that kind of thing. And like I said, like, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago, there have been some times where I've been talking to people and they're like, hey, what do you do? And I tell them, and it's this is the question, whenever you tell someone what you do when you're a YouTuber or a streamer or anything, this is the thing they say to you, and you make money doing that? That's what every single person I've told to has said that to me. So that's the answer. And it's like, yeah, and then you know, it's like, oh well, my kid's friend is really into that, or you know, my son is really into that, and it's like, oh, your son's really into video games? It's no, he's really into watching these really long videos on them. It's like, oh, like what's your name on these websites? And I'm like, you know, like that's happened to me, you know, so I'm just have to like, oh, you know, like, and I just do like videos like for IGN. Oh, okay. So yeah, so it is kind of awkward sometimes, and it can be kind of scary that you can get into those situations, because you never know what kind of person will end up finding you. And I don't know, I feel like there's no real danger and the people would be harmless. It would be more of a kind of like for sport, like haha, like I found you, you know, like that's it. But if it ever got creepy, I think that would be very unsettling for us, and I don't think I would like that at all. I was just reading something about, I think, Robert Pattinson. It's not Patterson, it's Pattinson. Pattinson, Robert Pattinson, the guy who played Edward in the Twilight movie. He apparently had a stalker, and I was reading it, and he apparently got rid of his stalker by taking her out to dinner and just relentlessly bitching about his life and just being like the most open, honest, just annoying, insufferable fucking asshole that he could possibly be. And then that stopped her from being a stalker, you know. But I don't think I'd ever have a stalker like that. I don't think there's ever going to be someone, you know, that's made a bubblegum replica of me in their closet and, you know, is just secretly pining for the dragon. I don't think that's going to happen ever. So like I think even if there was someone that was just a little infatuated, I don't think it would be that kind of it would be more like a hateful sort of thing. And I've gotten death threats. I've gotten, you know, like I'm gonna find you and fucking kill you because you didn't like God of War, like and then there's like the more passive death threats of like, I hope you fucking die, I hope that your kids die, I hope this, I hope that. There have been people that have been like left comments on different forums and are like, I was following this guy for a long time, but you know, like now I don't like him anymore, and you know, I feel really sorry for his kids because he's such a horrible fucking father, you know, like they just go for like what they think is going to be the jugular for insults, you know, that sort of thing. So I think that kind of hate is going to be what's common. Is not going to be like an infatuation. I don't think hate gets you to the point where you are stalking someone, but yeah, I don't know. I think if there was going to be something that would have happened by now with Odyssey and Silent Hill 2, if I ever made a big video and it got a lot of views, I think maybe that would be the only ever time if it was on Silent Hill 2. I think that would be the only other time that would happen. But if I made a video on Silent Hill 2, it would be nowhere near as critical as the Odyssey video, because I like Silent Hill 2 more than Odyssey. You know, it would be honest. And it would probably be tied up with a lot of the other Silent Hill games at the same time. So I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened already with the backlash to Odyssey. But yeah, it's okay. I don't really worry about it all that much. Maybe I should. Yeah, I don't know. I am kind of concerned about ever meeting people in real life. If I ever went to a convention and there was like a come by the booth and I'll sign something for you or anything like that, if there was demand for that, I have no idea. I know there's some people, some YouTubers that have gone to those things when they're much like smaller in audience than I am, and they usually have a fan meetup, but I've never done any of them. So I think maybe it would be, if I ever went to a convention somewhere, I would just announce it like the day before. Hey, I'm going to be here, so there'd be as few people as possible for the first time to be something I could ease into. But I don't know how it would be if it was a whole thing. You know, like if it was announced ahead of time, there'd be a lot of people there. I don't know if I would like that. You know, like I don't know. I don't think I'm socially awkward in person. But I don't think you can prepare to be in that sort of situation ever, because unless you've been in it, and if you've been in it, then, you know, how did you prepare the first time? So I don't think I would be comfortable, and I don't think I would have a good time with that, even though it would be cool to meet people, and you know, like, no one has ever told me in person, for example, that, hey, I really like your videos and I'm a big fan. Like that's never happened to me in person. It's happened to me like on voice calls or on the phone when I'm speaking to some people. But it's never happened to me in person, and that might be cool. And it might be like, oh, you know, like let's talk about some video game stuff in person. That would be interesting. But actually, like, interacting with a lot of people, I think would be awkward for me at first, and I would be uncomfortable. But I would hope I could get used to it. Was there another side to that question? Oh yeah, another streamer's house got shot multiple times, and then someone got the FBI squad called on. Yeah, that's called swatting, right? Some people get swatted. Yeah, I worry about that a lot. There was a video that was posted on Reddit the other day of it was a body cam footage of a cop. And this is actually fairly serious. This is not a joke. If you go and look at this, I like really be prepared to have something that's just like you don't really see much, but it really disturbed me as a dad. The body cam footage was this cop went into a house after the police were called, and he's going through the house, and he goes through the living room multiple times, and as he goes through the living room like the third time, the family's small dog barks at him, and he turns around and like unloads, I think, 3 shots into the dog. And one of the shots, it looks like one of the bullets like hits a little girl that was next to the dog right in the eye. It turned out that in the follow-up, it was a bullet like shattered on contact when something had hit in the house, and part of the fragment of the bullet went into her eye, and like I think she lost her eye. But in the video, like I had to turn the video off because I was getting really upset. Like in the video, this is like something that really gets to me now as a dad. In the video, it just really looks like the cop turned around and shot this little girl in the face, and the girl is just screaming, and you can hear the dad just howling in the background, just like he's just like just a fucking like yeah, it really got to me, that sort of thing. So anything to do with like potentially like the police coming to your door, like swatting is when you call the police and say this house has a hostage situation in it, even though like you have nothing to do with it, and they have to take those calls seriously. And sometimes the police will respond by sending SWAT there. That's what's called swatting. And Total Biscuit used to talk about that quite a bit. And like if the police go in at like already escalated, thinking this is a really bad situation, and you know, like if the police come just on a night that maybe you're not prepared to handle that, or maybe you've been a little irresponsible at night. You've had a couple of drinks. Maybe you don't understand what's going on outside. Maybe it's like they show up just as you know, it's a heated moment inside. You know what I mean? Like the things could go really bad really fast for something that's completely benign. You know, I think someone got swatted and they went to the wrong house even. And something went horrible there. I think I saw something about that. Someone was convicted for something they did about that or something. I don't know. So yeah, I do worry about that. I think it was Dr. Disrespect that someone drove by their house and fired 3 shots into their upstairs window, didn't they? Something like that happened. Yeah, I think that's, you know, like I think you have to be a much larger presence online than I am to have that kind of response. And that's just completely unacceptable. I don't know. I hate to say it because we're nowhere near that, and I doubt we'll ever be anywhere near that. That's why these protections exist, and why, you know, it's important to have some levels of dishonesty between you and your audience, just in case, because you never know where you're gonna end up, right? You know, but they're white lies. It's like, okay, there's just little things here and there. But yeah, that video, man, that was just like I've seen way worse, like online. Like I'm pretty sure when I was a teenager, one of my friends like showed me a video of a guy literally being killed. Like I saw a snuff video when I was like 14 or something. Like, is it snuff when they're dead? It's nothing to do sexually, right? It's just someone being killed. Like, and I've seen videos like there was a subreddit, Watch People Die, where you could actually see people dying from accidents. But like there have been worse things graphically that I've seen. But that video of the cop body cam footage was just like, fuck, man. Like that fucking destroyed me. Like I was upset for the whole day. Like, so yeah, anything to do with that. Let's move on to Assistant Weeby spoiler message. Hopefully it's lighter. Let's see. So this was spoiled for now, and let's see how it goes.
Joe, don't open this question until Christmas is crossed out. Q&A.
Okay. We didn't.
Not so short preamble. Remember Artifact, that one Valve game that flopped?
Yep.
At some point, this corpse of a game had a total of 6 viewers on Twitch, the whole game section. So someone very smart decided to illegally host movies there and watch them with Twitch chat. It took off. People call those 2 days the golden age of Twitch, until Twitch staff that was watching movies with chat too, LMAO, was forced to take down Interstellar right during its ending and subsequently quarantine the Artifact section, as it had more pirated movies than Artifact streams. Sometime later, I asked you about taking anime suggestions from chat, which sparked an idea.
Is this true?
I donated some infant souls to Jeff Bezos, and voila, Twitch Squad streaming was announced. The question is, do you acknowledge that watching JoJo without chat would be a horrible crime against humanity? This could be the new weeb streamer age. Content that's going to top the likes of Persona 5 streams. I am totally speaking on authority of all chat. Would you be willing to try squad streaming out, or get some help from chat to do a movies crossed out anime night on a separate website? Other streamers do it, so I'm sure there's lots of possible ways if you get help from us. You made Minecraft server work, so this would be easy.
Okay, so I don't know if there's enough demand for this. I do know that some people would really, really enjoy that sort of thing. I don't know if it would be better live, or if it would be better if it was something that Adam just did with Your Movie Sucks. He recently put up on the main channel, actually, like, God bless him, what the balls on that guy to put that on main channel. His huge long commentary of 13 Reasons Why Season 3. He watched the whole thing, and it's just a black screen with his commentary, right, that you can match up to the show, so you can hear it along at the same time. So like I could do that. Maybe I could maybe do just a blank stream when we watch it, and I could give a countdown, and we could just watch it together with like maybe some just like subtle smooth jazz in the background, so it's not just a complete complete muted audio. I don't know. Like, I don't know if there'd be enough interest for that. Maybe, I have no idea. So I'll say this: when we start streaming maybe Persona 3, I will propose it to chat, and we will see if there's enough interest. If there is Amazon Twitch Squad streaming or whatever the fuck it is, I think that's if you all have an Amazon Prime account, you can watch something together if it is available on Amazon Prime TV, right? Is that true? I don't really know all that about it. If that's something that's possible, then okay, we'll do it that way. If not, then I will consider doing the oh my god, I will consider doing the black screen thing on the stream, and then maybe after that on YouTube. I think that could be interesting. What happened to Morgana? Is JoJo on Twitch? Is it on Amazon? Crunchyroll, take me home. Which version of Persona 3 are you gonna play? Whichever one chat wants me to play. Whatever is the best one. I think it was your move sucks and his friends commentary, not him alone. Was it with his friends? Okay, that makes more sense. Lucky for you, the JoJo parts are numbered best to worst already. Joe, what is your best book? I was thinking about buying one. Just read the previews. If you like fantasy, you could try Wizard and the Dragon. That was my best received novel that went up on Amazon. But a lot of people, well, not a lot of people have actually gone and read the books from the channel. But some people that have gone on to read that from the channel have said that they didn't really like that story, which surprises me because it was very well received from people who just found it on Amazon before I even had the channel. It has pretty good reviews. You might prefer the sci-fi stuff. Wizard and Dragon was the first novel that I ever finished. So it is the oldest and the most raw book that I wrote. I got better as it went along, but I really like that story. So you just want to look at the previews and see what you would like. The sci-fi series, The Bounty Hunter, gets better as it goes along too, and it's a bit rough at the beginning. I wrote that right after Wizard and the Dragon. But yeah, I would say just look at the previews and see. If you want a short novella like The Lost Starship, is decent. That was, I think, the last thing that I wrote that went up on there. And I remember it fondly. I think it's decent. I don't think I love the ending. It ended. The ending was okay, and that's a novella, so that's a kind of a short one. There was something I was writing as the channel was taking off, which was called Starship Spite. And it was kind of like Mass Effect Andromeda, which is what that turned into, because that game hadn't been announced yet when I started writing this book. But it turned out to be quite different. So Starship Spite was about the journey between the Milky Way and Andromeda, and what happened in that generational starship as it traveled from one to the other. But I didn't have time to finish it because I ended up just all channel work all the time. But I'd like to get back to that. There are a lot of stories I would like to get back to eventually. I have 2 unfinished series. The Monster Slayer series is fantasy, and that builds off of the Wizard and the Dragon. And there's the Bounty Hunter series, which is sci-fi, which isn't finished either. But I want to, but I just can't justify it at the moment. It's opposite George R.R. Martin. I think you still haven't read my Discord message about Persona 3's difficulty. By the way, there are a lot of Discord messages I haven't read. Sorry, there's a lot of Twitter messages I haven't read either. I think sometimes it's even a dev that works at a big studio will message me and I'll read it and I'll be like, what the fuck are you messaging me for? Like what? And then I don't even answer that because it's just chaos here at the Anderson household, let me tell you. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. So sorry about that. I try, but I get so many messages every day and then I just get behind on them and it becomes difficult. Sometimes I have to scroll down on the direct message list for quite a while just to find Lily. And that's not fair, right, Lily? No.
I should be front and center, top of the list all the time.
What are your thoughts on Code Vein? Is it dropped? How does it rank against FromSoft? I don't know. I think it's still, I think I prefer all of FromSoft's entries than Code Vein, but Code Vein is better than Surge 1 for sure. It's not as good as Neo. It's better than Ashen. I thought Code Vein was pretty good. For my own personal enjoyment, I think I probably prefer Code Vein to Demon Souls. Like, I'm sorry, but like if we're talking about importance and from when it was released, like Demon Souls is clearly better. Like there's no contest. But like right now, if I wanted to play one of those games again, like I would play Demon Souls just to remember it because I only played it once. But I think at the end I'd be like, yeah, I think I prefer Code Vein because I really like the bosses in Code Vein. So I think Code Vein is actually quite decent. I was surprised by how decent it was. I was surprised by how not shit it is. And that has nothing to do with Trash Can either. You said you didn't watch movies much, but that's Ghostbusters? Oh, I used to watch movies a lot when I was younger. Ghostbusters is good.
I'm going back to
Yeah, so let's go back to Patreon and then we'll come back to Twitch for your
These ones
Munder.
look smaller at least.
Who's next on Patreon? The Axe Warrior, who asked their questions and then added to it later. What the fuck happened here?
Oh, we won't get that far tonight anyway.
Whoa, okay, Open Office is just like completely shit the bed.
Wow, even more now.
Yeah, that's really bad, huh? Maybe if I full screen it. There we go. Alright, so you see anything more from the Axe Warrior? Because I think they asked a question and then they asked another question before and I had to combine them both.
Is that the same one? That's the same
Yeah,
one.
Dr. Owl, Kim K, Bumblebee, Incoettes, Jack S, Jaime, Riley P, Xfia, Hughie, LE0088. Okay, so there's no doubling up. Okay, so the Axe Warrior is next. Let me put their name on the screen. I think maybe next week we're not going to use the Minecraft server. I think we'll skip a week and we'll play a game instead, and we'll come back to the Minecraft server every now and then. I think I do better when I have something to occupy myself with, or maybe I should actually try to do something in Minecraft. I don't know. I feel like some people might disrupt me when I try to do that. I don't know. Shit this. Okay, we're done. Okay, cool.
Hey Joe, hope you and your family are doing well. I was wondering if, aside from the game's story, any of your opinions on Dark Souls have changed since the original critique of the game that you uploaded all that time ago. If so, what are they and what caused you to change your mind?
So a bunch of 2 Dark Souls questions that are
and
all
an Elden Ring is the next one too, so you're gonna be a bit
on Patreon. I kind of just answered that question with Carlos's question at the beginning, like I think 2 back, the Axe Warrior. Sorry about that. But yours is more about if I specifically changed my mind or anything. I don't think so. I'd have to watch all those videos back again, and watching the Dark Souls 1 and 2 videos, even the Dark Souls 3 videos, it hurts me because my microphone quality is so bad in Dark Souls 1. It's even worse in Dark Souls 2 because I didn't realize there was all that clipping, and I think the Dark Souls 2 level design video is my worst video, like by far. Like it's not even close. Like, that is just a bad video. And in the Dark Souls 3 video, I was trying something. Okay, so if I tell you this and you didn't notice it, this might ruin that video for you. So I apologize. If you don't want that video to be ruined, maybe you should just like not listen to me for the next minute or so. In Dark Souls 3 video, I was trying to fix the complaint or address the complaint I had, which was that I am too monotone. So I tried to do the video like I'm talking right now, which is I forced a smile on my face, Joker or mask salesman kind of way, to make it sound like I had more emotion. So I did the whole video with this fake smile that's creeping Lily out right now, and doing this like little fake laugh here and there that wasn't always fake, because sometimes I really was amused by some of the lines I was saying. So the whole video kind of sounds like this, and I hate it when I go back and I listen to it. I'm like, yeah, this does not work. So like the Dark Souls videos aren't really my favorite. Bloodborne's pretty good, although I haven't watched that back recently either. So I
Yeah, Vivar, that's pretty much what he looks like.
So I don't really remember all the points that I made. I think that the only point I would probably ease up on would be, like this is really specific. So I complained in the Dark Souls 1 video that when you're fighting the Gaping Dragon, that one of the spellcasters in the balcony can just become active and just pelt spells at you over and over and over again, and there's absolutely nothing that you can do, and that this was like a big problem in this fight. This is stupid. after I made that video, I went back and I played that game a bunch more times for the different videos over like the years, one or two. I actually like the Gaping Dragon more when that happens. I feel like it adds a whole other dimension to that fight, and it adds difficulty to it. Like, you have to keep track of that guy. So I actually leave that guy up on purpose now. So that's something specific that I changed my mind on. I actually like that that's the option there to make it harder for you if you just run ahead. So that's something I disagree with now. I still agree. I still think that Capra Demon is bullshit, and I think that anyone who says that it isn't bullshit is just being willfully obtuse and is just trying to own the scrubs. I really do not understand how anyone could defend that like as not being bullshit. You can defend it as bullshit. Bullshit is good. Like yeah, that's a good one then, and we'll talk about that. I've kind of eased up on bullshit and fairness being something that's really key. I think that sometimes bullshit and unfairness is a good thing, and it's really hard to know when that's true and when it isn't true. But I've really changed my mind on that as time has gone on. That idea that whenever you take damage, it's always your fault. I still think that is an important tenet of game design, and especially in action games. I do think that is very, very important. However, I think that there are times when you can go against it, especially if it's not too bad of a, like, it's not too punishing and you can just get back into the game real fast, you know? I think there are times when it can work. And there's this idea that's been brewing in my head for a while. I think I talk about it in the difficulty script, the difficulty in video games. I'm not sure, though. Maybe I just thought about it, or it was for a different script. Like, who wants to win a fair fight? Like, come on. Like, fuck that. Like, when you're up against something that's really brutally difficult, beautiful and brutally difficult, like, at the end of it, do you want to be like, oh yeah, good job, you won a fair fight? No, fuck you. I want to win the unfair fight. I want the odds to be stacked against me real hard, and I want to get through it, and I want to be like, yeah, it was an unfair fight. You played dirty. I still won. Fuck you. You know what I mean? It's just that I do still think that regular hits that you can't avoid, or regular things that will kill you, and it just like let's say there's a move that a boss can do that will hit you no matter what you do, and there's a random chance that every single time they queue up an attack, it's going to hit you with that. That's something I think is. You can't defend that. Like, in almost every way, that's bullshit. Unless it's some sort of like enrage mechanic, you know, enrage timer, that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, like the Capra Demon is complete horseshit. If I think the argument shouldn't be, no, it's not horseshit, it's completely fair. You just kill the dogs and then kill the Capra Demon, you fucking scrub. Like, what do you mean? When I went in there, I killed it my first try. I went through the fog door, and then I just immediately saw these dogs, and I was like, yeah, kill the dogs, and then run up to the back of the stairs and then kill Capra Demon. It doesn't ever... Oh, people died at that boss? I thought everyone killed that on there. I didn't even know it was a boss. You know, like that kind of fucking ads. Like, fuck off. Like, if you think that's a good like encounter, then argue that the surprise and the unfairness of it is a good thing, you know? Like, don't like say, oh no, it's completely fair, because it isn't, you know? Like, it's really not. And that's coming from someone who kind of likes the encounter for those reasons we just went into, you know? It's like it really puts you in an unfavorable position, and when you do finally beat it, it's like you're spitting on the corpse, you're like teabagging, you know, like, fuck you, Capra Demon, fuck you, you know? Like, it's good, you know? Like, you get satisfaction from it. So I think that's something I haven't changed my mind on, but like the other thing I have changed my mind on big time has been fairness, and that fairness isn't always ideal, and there is room for it somewhere. I'm trying to think of anything specific in Bloodborne or Dark Souls 2 or 3, and I can't remember all the points I made. Like, I don't know. I wish I would have gone into more detail on different weapon builds, because I was really annoyed when a lot of these answers begin with me saying I was really annoyed. I was really annoyed when I was reading some of the feedback to the Dark Souls 3 video. You'll notice in the DLC video that I'm using a big heavy two-handed greatsword, and that's because a lot of people said that I played Dark Souls 3 on easy mode because I played it with a longsword, and I two-handed the longsword and I dodged everything, and I used apparently this bullshit OP weapon. That's the complete horseshit. The game was much like factors easier with the big fuck off two-handed greatsword weapon. Like, it's not even a contest. Like you have to be so much better better at dodging to beat that game with the two-handed longsword. Like the mobility is really great, and I really like the mobility, but like it's apparently an overpowered weapon in PvP that a lot of the scrubs don't understand. That PvP OPness doesn't fucking like translate to PvE OPness. You know, like you can just hit trade with the two-handed greatsword. And you do so much damage that it's like, okay, well, I have enough Estus that, like, mathematically, I only need to properly dodge, like, 3 of this boss's hits. And every single other fucking attack that they do, I can just hit trade and I can win because I have so much healing. You can't do that with the longsword. It's like fuck off. Like, it's so much easier having that so much more damage throughput on the big, huge, heavy weapons with have hyper armor and those special anime moves as well. Yeah, so... That would be something I focus on a bit more too. But again, that's not really answering your question. I don't have an answer for your question. I'm sorry. That's the best I can do. Sorry, the Axe Warrior.
My second question is fairly simple. I would just like to know what your thoughts and or feelings are on the idea of From Software's latest game, Elden Ring, and open world Souls-like, which you kind of talked about.
Yeah, I kind of talked about that with Carlos too. I don't really know enough information about it. Sorry, I don't even know if there is all that information about it. I'm imagining something kind of like some of the tower areas in Breath of the Wild. When I imagine Elden Ring, I imagine kind of like an open world that's sort of like Hyrule Field in Twilight Princess, with there being like big towers and cave systems to climb into or out of, sort of like that you find in Breath of the Wild and maybe Ashen. That's how I'm imagining an open world kind of Elden Ring. I'm hoping that it's sort of a mistranslation, and open world is more like the Dark Souls open world, that you can go in any direction that you want and it weaves back into itself, rather than just being like this big open Skyrim kind of field. But that's how I imagine it. But like, I don't know if there's all that information about Elden Ring available, so I can't really comment on it. Sorry. I really don't know anything, and that's on purpose. You know, like I like to go in these games as blind as possible. I really like being surprised. For example, there's something that happened in Sekiro. There's like actually quite a few things that happened in Sekiro. That's why I played Sekiro so quickly when it first came out. Was because like, fuck you, I'm not getting this spoiled for me. Is like I really wanted to appreciate the surprises. Like fucking Donkey. Like, I know, like, maybe the statute of limitations has fucking elapsed on Sekiro at this point, but I really don't think it should. I think spoilers should last a while. But like, fucking Donkey spoiled what I think is the best moment in all of Sekiro in his top the games of the 2019 list, in the video that just came out yesterday, I think. And like what the fuck? Like, I think that's really lame. I was listening to some of the Giant Bomb podcast with their Game of the Year deliberations, and they spoil it too. You know, like I feel like they give a spoiler warning though. Like, to be fair, sorry, like Donkey didn't. I don't think. You know, like I like being surprised. So even knowing that Elden Ring is an open world game is kind of like ruined a little bit of that allure for me. You know, like I think I would prefer if I didn't know that, but. It was plastered all over the place. Like, I'm annoyed by Persona 5 Royal. All of the advertising, the marketing for that seemingly was just the title of these videos explaining the changes told you what the change is. Like, hey, this is now a part of the game. It's like, okay, cool. I really would have liked to have found out by myself, but the headline is the spoiler. Fucking great, you know. I don't like I've eased off on spoilers a bit as I get older, but I still do like to appreciate. I like to appreciate something as it was intended, with being like in the moment, instead of being like, oh, I get to wait for that thing to happen later on. So yeah, I can't really talk about it. I hope it's good. I hope that it turns out to be like the combat is more in depth than Dark Souls, or it has the same enemy variety of Dark Souls, but they haven't really been able to nail that since Dark Souls. I hope that it's. I just hope it's good. I hope it comes out next year. I don't think it will. Maybe. It'd be nice. But I think maybe it's going to be early 2021. Like March 2021. But maybe it'll be holiday 2020. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, we'll see.
That's it for the Axe Warrior.
Thanks, Axe Warrior. I think there was a highlighted message that I missed there. I just got Sekiro yesterday, so I super appreciate the spoiler respect. I hope you enjoy it, Arena Gamer. And I'm glad that no one spoiled for you that Wolf is actually Gwyn from Dark Souls, and the whole thing is actually a Dark Souls prequel. It's actually called Dark Souls 0 among the community. So I'm really glad that no one spoiled that for you. It's really good to get into that yourself. Thank you to Not Tomorrow for the new sub. Welcome to Primetime. Welcome to the Pickle Jar. Thank you, Not Tomorrow. Thank you, Type BS. Ooh, for the 4-3 sub. Not able to sub very often, but glad to support you when I can. Thank you so much, Type BS. Any sub is, I think, like infinitely more support than watching all the videos with ad block. Ad block absolution is just a sub, you know, or like I think maybe a couple dollars on Patreon once. I think that's ad block absolution. I believe, because each ad watch is just so little. It just adds up over a bunch of views. But I don't know what the current rates are for one viewer. So don't feel bad at all for not being able to sub very often. Like any sub is just so much more support than most. Thank you. Can we get a claw fist?
Claw fist.
Claw fist. Lily's here, by the way, in case you didn't know. Thank you, West Nile Kyle 50. That's a cool name for the new sub. Welcome to the West Nile Kyle sounds like kind of like a West Nile Kyle 50 sounds kind of like a rapper name. So welcome to the Down with the Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah, down with the Dirty Dragons. Ooh.
With a Z on the end of dragons,
yeah.
right?
The Backstreet Slizzards. Yeah, there we go. That's horrible. Thank you, West Nile Kyle. Maybe that'll be the only sub. And last but not least, thank you, Some Dumbass, for the 913 sub. Thank you very much for not doing the pregnancy resub joke. Thank you very much, Some Dumbass. Always good to say your name out loud. Thank you, Some Dumbass. There are a couple of questions. I made a new account to avoid things on Persona 5 Royal, and the one day before I was going to play it with my friend spoiled something for me, not on purpose, but I felt betrayed. I'm sorry about that. I've had friends spoil some things for me, like on accident, like that too. You know, they thought I had seen something and I hadn't. It's kind of lame. It's in a bad situation too, because you don't want to be mad at your friend, but at the same time you're kind of like, oh man, like why can't you have been more careful? You know, like. God damn it. Like, or like you're watching some streamer and he reads out like the biggest plot point in like Madoka High School Sunrise, you know, like, yeah, like it's always horrible when that happens. People tell me. Did you play Thronebreaker for your Witcher vid? Yes, I did. Yep. Thronebreaker will be included in the big Witcher video. It has a small section, and like in a 9-hour plus video, like a small section is actually quite considerable, but it's not like a whole big review thing or anything. But yeah, I did play all the way through Thronebreaker for the video. That's something I didn't say until somewhat recently, actually. Do you get money from premium users on YouTube? Never understood how it's supposed to work. YouTube Red, you mean? Or I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think so. If you watch the video with YouTube Premium or whatever it is, and you don't get an ad because of that, I think it gives the view the same amount of money as if you had watched all the ads. I believe. I'm not sure. I believe how that works. I think the YouTube Premium revenue is almost the same as the other one. So I think that is how it works. Josephilla used 250 bits to say, "This is my friend's review of Witcher 3. Is it accurate? The Witcher 3 shredded celebrity boomer enlists the help of countless beautiful women to aid in his quest to find the ultimate beautiful woman, his daughter, that's not actually his daughter, kind of." I mean, if you think 2 is countless, sure. Yeah, no, I don't think that's really accurate, but it's funny to say. Thank you for that, Josephilla. Thank you, Heart Trip, as well, for the new sub. Welcome to what should we say? To Heart Trip. Welcome to. We're supposed to dial back on the cringe, but if it's a new sub, they get welcome to something.
I'm trying to think of something like for the holidays.
The Hatafu Hen House, because it's Heart Trip. Does that even work? What does Hatafu mean again? The Hatafu boy. What does that mean? Hatafu boyfriend. Hatafu Hen House. I don't even know what that meant. What that means.
I think they like it.
It means heartful. There you go. Heart Trip gets a welcome to the Heartful Hen House. There we go. Why does Lily saying Cloffice so satisfying? Because she's so lovely. So lovely. Okay, so let's go back to Twitch, and we'll do one more from there, and then maybe that'll be us. But if not, then we'll do another one on Patreon. Let me see. What is the next one on Patreon?
A quick one.
Oh, yeah, it's a quick one. Okay, so we can probably do this one, and then we'll end with Dr. Owl, and then that'll be it for tonight, I think, everybody. So we have 2 more to do. I might ask for some questions from chat at the end, too, although we've been pretty good about asking questions from chat as we've gone, right?
Yeah.
So this is Your Munder.
Hey, Joe and Lily. My first question. Not sure if you answered this before. Do you struggle with imposter syndrome, and if yes, how do you deal with it? I work as a programmer, and my whole career is based around the fact that I don't have an aversion to using Google. I feel like such a fraud sometimes, especially when I can't remember the most basic shit and have to Google it.
I suffer from imposter syndrome so badly that sometimes I wonder if I'm even good enough to really be worthy of having imposter syndrome. So yeah, for sure. I know that's a big problem with programmers because of what you're describing, that you have to Google so many things and look up so many things. When I was dabbling in programming, I ended up having to look up quite a lot of stuff. When I was following tutorials in Unity, and I was following tutorials learning how to code in Java a long time ago, like even stuff I would watch the tutorial and be like, well, like that meme with Patrick, and be like, yep, I understand, yep, and then it would come time to do it, and I would be like, nope. So I'd have to go back and look at it again and again and again. I don't know if that's because I'm now bad at learning. Now that I'm old enough and I've been out of school for so long, I wonder if I'm bad at learning now. I don't think so, because I don't like that answer, but maybe it's just that coding is really hard to get into, and it's like kind of like rewiring your brain a little bit. But when I was younger, I was pretty good at math and logic stuff, so maybe, I don't know, or maybe I was fine, and I don't have a good reference point to know if I was actually that horrible at it when it came to remembering things. But even when it comes to video editing, there are tricks that I've learned somewhat recently, fancy stuff with masks and text and motion tracking and all this other stuff. I've been trying to dramatically improve that side of the video production, because I feel like I've stagnated a little bit with past videos or recent videos. It used to be that I would try to do something new with every single video, even if it was something small and insignificant that only I really noticed when I went back. I always tried to improve and expand on my toolkit for when it comes to putting the videos together. And then toward the end of like the last few videos or so, it's kind of been like, oh, like I'm just doing the same tricks because I'm running out of things I can teach myself. So I've been looking up tutorials and learning new things to do in video editing. And the Chan of the Year was kind of like me, like flexing some of the things I had learned a little bit and trying them out a little bit, just minor things. They weren't all really that impressive, but like making the text go behind Trash Chan's head in that clip, like things like that are actually pretty hard to do when you don't know, like when you haven't been told or taught how to do them, like if I had like a lot of time, I think eventually I would have stumbled onto, oh yeah, I could do that. But things like that, I feel like I have to go back and look those things up on tutorials again over and over and over again, kind of like a programmer does for a lot of things. So I think that a good way of looking at that is that someone actually just said this in chat, is that you shouldn't feel, I've said this about writing before, like you don't, if you are creative for anything, and coding is being creative, I actually believe that coding is an art form. I know that might be a little controversial for some people, but I actually do think coding is an art form. That if you are not learning from what people have done before you, you're really wasting part of your life. And that sounds really like dramatic, but it's true. Like if you were to like a writer and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to be a writer, but first of all, I'm going to make my own fucking language, like that's a waste of time, like you want, and that's an extreme example, I know, but anything about techniques and literary devices, you want to know this shit. And it's not just about, about just following what everyone else has done. It kind of gets into the idea that you should know the rules before you break them. I think that a lot of teachers teach that in a really bad way, and they don't really fully explain that it's about saving time and like huge chunks of your life without, having to reinvent things that have already been discovered. You want to build on that and just put your own spin on it. And I don't think you should ever be ashamed of having to look something up. And I don't know actually what our society is going toward now, where it almost feels like a waste of time to memorize things like dates and history and everything. And I know I feel this, and maybe it's a really bad habit to have, but anything that I know I can Google in 2 seconds, I just like, just out of my mind, like, who cares? Like, I'm always going to have Google. Like, I'm always going to be able to fact check that. And even if it is something I remember and I'm like 99% certain that I know it, if it's really important, I'm going to look it up anyway. So like, I know it's pretty bad to have that such dependency on like this big database of information that we always have access to, but I feel like it's inevitable, and we need to just trust the system. But something about that kind of sits poorly with me. I don't know. But yeah, like I feel like it's a good thing that you get to save that brain space and you don't have to do that over and over and over again. That said, there are a bunch of things that you should like take the time to memorize if you're doing it over and over and over again. But that's where I get into coding, is just kind of like out of my area. Although I would like to get back into it at some point. Yeah, I get imposter syndrome a lot. One of the most important videos that helped me deal with that was an interview. I can't remember what channel it is, but it's a very bare bones YouTube channel. Maybe it's even not even primarily a YouTube channel. Maybe it's from TV and they put them on YouTube. It's just like they get like authors and writers and oh, that's a repeat there. Actors and just famous people, and they have them like in front of a white background, and they just ask them questions on text. There's like a text that shows the question, and then it has their answer, and that's it. It's just very bare bones. John Irving has been on it. I think Lily has watched some of those, and one of them was from Edward Norton, and it's Edward Norton is like one of my favorite actors, and I like Fight Club is one of my favorite movies, and I really like Edward Norton. I think he's really, really great, and he was talking about sort of like, I'm not sure if it was directly imposter syndrome or if it was something about like how do you deal with confidence and everything, and it was really kind of important to have someone who I consider to be very, very talented and very, very successful. And he basically said that every single time that he goes on stage, or he plays a role in a scene and they're recording, there's a part of him that expects that someone's going to come up to him, pull him aside, and be like, "Oh wow, you have no idea what you're doing, do you? You just kind of got here by luck, and no one noticed that you were absolutely terrible until now." And having someone that's at that level just admit to that was kind of like, oh shit, like that was kind of like, oh, right. So like I feel that way sometimes with the streams and the videos, more so the videos than the streams actually, because I really do feel like I'm not that good of a streamer. It's just kind of like I've said before, I'm just some guy here. We're just gonna play the games and we're just gonna do our thing, and if it goes horribly, like, yeah, just kind of like we're just fucking around, it's just there is somewhat of a performance here, like I spoke about earlier, because it's such an unusual kind of thing that you're going through, but it's still just me being me on here for the most part, and I feel like there's less pressure there. But there are times with the videos where it's kind of like, oh, okay, cool, like is this going to be the video where people are like, oh, you have no idea what you're talking about. Now thankfully I am confident enough that when that has happened, that people have actually come across and said, hey, this video is shit, you actually have no idea what you're talking about, that I know how to find out if that's real or not, and that's if they actually have any examples whatsoever. If they're saying like something specific, where did that come from? I didn't see that earlier. If they're saying something specific, it's like, oh, okay, then I can learn from this. But if it's just like, hey, you're shit, and then you ask them why they're shit and they don't say anything, it's like, oh, okay, they're just a mad fanboy, maybe, or probably. So I yeah. I feel like I'm my own biggest critic, and there's not much that people can say that's gonna get to me. But then it also comes with a lot of doubt. I don't know if I didn't have that, I wonder how different it would be. Is this something everyone has? Is there anyone in chat right now that is in like a creative position, or like a really important position in their life, and they don't have imposter syndrome in some way? I know it's really ubiquitous in programming. I don't know. Streams have lots of aspects you can choose to excel at, and you're very good at explaining, discussing things, and engaging with viewers. I know it sounds obvious, but so many streamers are not good at those things. Maybe it's just World of Warcraft experience lets me be able to juggle chat and the game at the same time. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe I just got lucky there. Weebs can't be in important positions, Joe. For what I understand, everyone experiences imposter syndrome. Yeah, that's what I think too. Define imposter syndrome. No, not sure everyone agrees what that is. Okay, so I think there's different forms of imposter syndrome, but it's this idea that you didn't really get to where you are by your own merit, and that you don't know what you're doing really when it comes to your job and what you do, and you feel like a fraud because there are things that you are constantly relearning and learning. Maybe there are even simple things that you don't tell anyone that you didn't know that yet, or something like that. I think that's too specific an example though. It's just this idea that at some point someone's going to call you out and say, oh, you're actually shit. You actually don't know your job. You've just been pretending this whole time. Like, you're an imposter. Like, you really aren't good at this, even though so many people think that you are. And I'm the first one to see through you. And now I'm going to tell everyone. And it's not about that happening, because that does happen to people. It's that you think that they would be right at the same time, you know? I mean, I think I could handle more mushrooms than that.
I got invited to Madrid to cast the Rocket League World Finals, and it happens to me all the time, even though I made it this far.
Oh, congratulations on doing that. Like, I spoke about something that happened earlier. Like, there have been multiple times when people that work at like game studios, and sometimes it's AAA studios. There was actually someone who contacted me a while ago. And I don't even know what studio they were in, but it was when I said if there's anyone who's in game dev and I have a couple of questions, if you could message me and I would just want to talk to you about it. And like they said, I can answer any of your questions, but if they're really specific, we're gonna have to sign an NDA. Like that's the kind of level that the studio was at. You know, there have been people that have worked on like huge exclusive games for both consoles that have contacted me and just messaged me like not big time, just like a brief like, hey, I really appreciate your videos, or hey, like can we talk about this thing real quick, that sort of thing. And whenever that happens, like it's just like my whole entire being, I think that's where I experience imposter syndrome the most. My whole entire being just goes into revolt. And it's just kind of like, oh my God, why the fuck do you want to talk to me? Like, it's just so total, like, oh my God, like no, like you shouldn't listen to me. Why? Like this isn't what the videos are for. Oh my God, I can't believe that someone who makes games actually watched my shit, and might be taking me seriously, like it's that kind of level. That I just revulsion, I guess. I even had someone who worked on a game like again a really big game was like, you should try and hire yourself out as a consultant that goes into games during their development and help studios like on their games in the final phase. And just every part of me was just like, oh my God, no, like I could never do that. I could never ever even just imagine myself in that position where I go into a game studio, these people that have worked so hard on this game, and here's me, fucking YouTube Joe. Oh, here's what you should do, guy. Like, oh my God, I would die. I would just cringe into a ball and die. Like I think that's where I get the most. And like I don't even think that's imposter syndrome at that point. I think that's actually a legitimate answer I should do. Like I'm not a game designer. I shouldn't feel that. I should feel that way. But like there have been times where I feel like people are taking me too seriously. So maybe that's the heart of imposter syndrome. I don't know. But yeah, for sure. Like I don't know how to combat it. Like every time I put a video up on the channel, there's always this feeling inside of me that's like, okay, is this the one that's going to be really, really bad? And I think it kind of happened with maybe Inside. I think maybe the Inside video was off the mark. There was a pretty bad backlash for subjectivity as implied in the horror games video, but I don't think that was deserved backlash. Like usually when a lot of people respond negatively to your content, it's the creator's fault. But this was actually the rare time when it wasn't. That there was nothing wrong with the points in that video. It's just a bit, maybe the answer there is to be more clear that it was just like, hey, why they don't scare me? you know, but it's right there in the title. So I don't know. I kind of feel like that's one of the rare exceptions. Where there've been plenty of times where in like the Hollow Knight video, I should have made it way clearer that I wanted difficulty choices instead of it being like, hey, this whole game is way too fucking easy. Like no, it should have been way more clear than that. That was backlash from like a faction. Yeah, that's true too. That was caught up in some engineered some drama at the same time. So it's hard to gauge that. Yeah. There are some people that were fishing for drama there in order to raid some clicks, and I'm very well aware of that. But I don't know, like maybe there was spillover. Like that's actually really hard to gauge. Yeah, you're right there, Wuggy. I feel like imposter in reverse. I think my job is super easy, and I'm surprised when others struggle with it. I can't say that because it sounds arrogant. Well, unless you're a brain surgeon, I think maybe you're just not challenging yourself enough. You should try and like push yourself somewhere else. If you are a brain surgeon, then thank you for your service. I don't know, imposter syndrome in reverse.
I have it like with everything.
Do you?
I have it with being a mother. And I think I don't know what I'm doing. People are going to find out how bad I really am. You know, like I'll see someone else.
But you're a great mother.
Yeah, but I feel like I could always be doing more. You know, I could always be doing something better. And even if they tell me, oh, mommy, we love you, you're a good mommy, you know, like I still feel like, oh, well, I didn't do this enough and I should pay more attention to you and I should devote more of my day to you. And like, even though I spend all day with them anyway, you know, like there's always something that I feel like I'm not doing enough. Or I read something and it's like, I have some university, right? I didn't graduate. So I have like a bit of a thing where I'm not smart enough, you know, because I don't remember everything I learned now. So even if I have some university, I don't remember all of the education that I even have. You know, like I did 2 years of nursing. Ask me anything now, medical, and I don't remember really anything anymore. I have it for the writing. And I really am aware of it because when I'm depressed, it's like 10 times worse than it normally is because of that little voice telling you all the time that, you know, you're a failure, you're shit, you don't know what you're doing. And then when I'm manic, that little voice telling me, and that's the best part of it, is that telling me you're amazing, you're funny, and you're brilliant, and you're beautiful, and the kids adore you, and Joe loves you, and, you know, people wish they could be like you. Like there's this, you go from one end of the spectrum to the other. So then when you're just normal, you miss it, you know, because you miss that utter, like, unfaltering confidence that you had. And it makes me so much more aware of where I sit normally because I've been from one end to the other end, if that makes sense. Like I'm really aware. After I've been that confident, I'm really aware where I lack that confidence. Like it's really noticeable to me. And it's not just about writing, it's in a lot of different things. I don't know if that's normal or not. I don't know if you guys have the same kind of thing, but I'm really aware of it after, because, you know, a lot of you have depression and stuff too, and I'm sure when you're depressed, right, it's really, it hits you a lot harder, I think, right? Like that criticism, that self-criticism that you have for yourself. So I feel like after you've been through that, like your normal day-to-day is just...
Well, someone in chat just said something like that, similar, that they have imposter syndrome and reverse imposter syndrome at the same time. That's a human thing. And I wonder if that drive that you feel like, oh, you could always be doing better, I wonder if that's just a human thing. Like you are a really good mother because you want what's best for your kids, and because of that, you're always like, okay, well, I could be doing better, I could be doing better, I could be doing better. You constantly want to be doing better. It's like an artist that is always like upset with their work, you know, because they always feel like they could be doing better. Although I saw like a chart of that where it showed like it's like your artistic level ability goes up in a straight line as you practice. So it's like one straight line from the bottom left of the X and Y axis all the way up to the top right. But your perceived skill is like a curvy line that goes up and down. And so your perceived ability is sometimes it goes all the way up and then all the way down and all the way up and all the way down and all the way up and all the way down, but it's same trending up on the straight line axis. So what happens is that you are really impressed with your work when your perceived skill is it dips below what your actual skill is, and then you're really upset when your perceived ability is above the line, because it will oscillate between being up and down as you get better, because your perception is different than your actual ability. So I wonder if that is the same kind of thing with being a mother. You always want to be, or like a father too, you always want what's best for your kids, and if you're not, that's when you are, the bad parent is when you start being complacent. I don't know, it's kind of like, well, isn't there like a word for that, like dumb people don't know how dumb they are, which I think is kind of too shallow. I really don't think there are truly dumb people. Maybe, I don't know. I said it last time in the Q&A that having the channel has made me really disappointed in humanity, because sometimes I get some really stupid comments, and it really makes me worried. But yeah, Dunning-Kruger effect.
It's the way that we are now too, right? With social media and everything, we're not seeing the bad in the other people. Most of the time, we're seeing.
You see the highlight
I'm
reel,
not
yeah.
seeing other shit mothers. I'm seeing she took her kids to the park again, and they baked cookies, and I'm seeing what they choose to show me, right? And I know that intellectually. I know that they have bad moments too, where they're sitting in the bathroom crying, wanting to pull their hair out because someone just dumped milk all over the carpet. It's like they have these moments too. I hope, but like you don't really see that, and it's like you're on a hamster wheel. You can never keep up with it. I really noticed it with the writing when I listened to an interview that has an author that I really like, talking about their process and their failures and their triumphs and everything, and I'm like, oh wow, we're not that different. But then I go and read their work, and I'm like, oh wow, you produced this, and it just makes me feel like what I've produced is nothing compared to what they've produced. Like, I'm not a real writer, it's not. I'm rereading Gone Girl. I've been reading it for a while now. I've been like in and out of it with other books, and I read an interview about her, and I was like, oh wow, we have so much in common. Like, that makes me feel so much better about myself that we have this much in common. And then I go and I read Gone Girl, and I'm like, I am like nothing compared to you. I am like so far from this.
So there's the chart.
It makes me feel worse.
It wasn't a straight line. Is it too small? Maybe it's fine. It wasn't a straight line. It's a different thing. So I think this can apply to pretty much everything. Everything in your life, I think, can apply to this, where your skill at evaluating, because when you get better at something, you get better at evaluating at the same time. So there are times where that doesn't line up linearly. So sometimes you can be a lot better at evaluating something than you are at actually making something. So there's going to be these crossover times where it oscillates and flips back and forth. I think this can apply to pretty much everything in life. And I think those can be times where you can be really dissatisfied.
I'll make dinner and I'm like, oh wow, I'm such a shit cook, and like, because I overcook the chicken just a little, or it didn't turn out the way the picture did when I copied out the recipe, or when I watched the video and they did it. You always just kind of see, or I do anyway, you see the pros of everyone else's stuff, but you don't see their cons. Like, I'm comparing my cooking to someone who's been doing it maybe 20 years longer than I have, or have taken classes in it, or
True, but okay, well, I'm gonna say this, and I know you've said this to me a long time ago. Maybe you don't think it anymore, but there's gonna be some people in chat that are like, holy shit, that's me. And it's this idea that you think, oh my god, I'm so worthless, I'm such a piece of shit, but I'm better than everyone else around me.
Yeah.
Like I feel that's something that a lot of people in our generation, that's the feeling that they get. And I think that's a human thing. Like, I think that's having these two conflicting ideas in your mind. I feel like that's a lot of people have that. And that's an example of something that they hold in their head, like, often. Like, I don't know, I think maybe it's just, I don't know if it's a generational thing. I don't know if they had imposter syndrome. It was just a part of human nature, if it's just our generation. I have no idea. I think that our culture is moving too fast And I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I don't know if it's because I'm becoming old and I'm finally older to the point where I'm at that point where, Grandpa Simpson says, you'll be cool and hip and with it, and then one day they'll change what it is, and you won't know what it is anymore. It happened to me and it'll happen to you, And I wonder if that's what's happening to me now, if I'm finally getting old. But I don't know. I feel like with the the advent of the internet and how things are just changing so rapidly, I feel like our culture is changing so quickly that you can't even keep track of it. Like, it would be so hard to document our culture right now. I think that it would like you it's almost like you need to have multiple specialists in order to keep up with it. And it's it's so weird now how almost everything, and I do mean almost everything, the latest movie, the latest music video, the song itself, even big political moments, even tragedies around the world get combed over and harvested for memes. They get what is this moment that happened that we can turn into a meme format, even if it's a wholesome meme format. There's all these people that are being grown up today that are being wired to just look for memes in all of the media and even the real world events that they consume, so they can go and get internet points for it. And it's who knew there was going to be political bullshit? This. It started with auto-tune the news. I think was the first time I really saw it, which I thought was really funny. But then there's there's some I love too. I love the Theresa May thing, where her awkward 3-frame here I come walking onto the stage. I love that meme format. And that's one of the more benign ones. I feel like everything gets turned into the meme machine, and it really disturbs me. Nothing can be left alone. Even any movie that comes out, even if I thought that movie, The Marriage Story, or A Marriage Story with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, I thought that movie was shit because I thought everyone on Twitter kept memeing the fuck out of it on that one scene, with them crying at each other, and then Adam Driver punches a fist through the wall, and everyone was adding their own meme to it, Baby Yoda or whatever, and then it's Adam Driver holding album covers, that's a whole Twitter account now, Adam Driver holding album covers, because there's a scene in the movie where he has his arms held out and it's perfectly for album cover to go into it. I thought the movie was a joke and it was shit because everyone was memeing it. Then I discovered it's one of the best movies of the year. It's gotten 96% on Rotten Tomatoes or something, and I mean, that's not objective proof that it's a great movie, but it's not The Room. It's not like some shitty fucking movie I thought it was going to be, because of how the memes made it out for me to think. I thought there would be more potential, but no, it's just everything just gets caught up into this huge kind of churning meme machine that even on stream, even us, we have inside jokes and inside memes that just immediately get caught up in it. It's we've been wired to find it. We've been wired to communicate in this way. And the part of that is I wonder if all the different psychoses that our generation has, is it actually unique to our generation or not, or is it something that's always been there, or and then I think, okay, has it always been this way, and I'm just getting old, and I'm just, it's oh fuck, I'm not with it anymore and I can't keep track. I don't know. So yeah, sorry to go on a rant there, but I think it's healthy and it's fine. You should never think, oh, am I crazy for having two conflicting directly conflicting thoughts in your head. It's absolutely fine. It's part of what makes us human. It's part of what, intrusive thoughts make us human too. It's a good thing, even though they can be quite disturbing sometimes. But Finn's awake. But yeah, I don't know if I'm old or not. I don't know. I have no idea. Well, I know I'm old, but I'm not that old. I'm 34. I know that's ancient to some of you listening, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm not even half dead yet. I should, if I live average life expectancy, which most of us will. I'm not even halfway done yet. So I have a lot of life ahead of me still. I'm 37. So you're not allowed to call yourself, oh my god, someone here's older than me? Wow, usually I'm the oldest person around. I wouldn't be surprised if the new social fabric created by social media platforms has rewired our brain processes to prioritize different facets of IR, like in real life, you mean? Yeah, I think so too. I also wonder how much of it is deliberate programming. I wonder how much of the internet is being tailored to weaken the cultures and it's like I think we're kind of in the middle of something that's close to like to get, even gamify this, like civilization, like culture wars, civilization culture victory condition. Like I don't know, like I would like to think that there's no more big wars ahead of us, that era is done, because it's just not profitable. Like, why would we do that again? Like there's no real gain out of it unless climate change really does hit hard and even faster than they're gonna say. Like, and then it's like, okay, now we have to wage war over resources that because we actually really do need them. Like the way human population is going right now. Like I as long as we avoid that, I don't think we have another big war ahead of us in terms of like how war was traditionally waged. So barring some AI overlord try to take over, I think the wars are going to be cultural wars, and it's I feel like that's already started. Like even if there is going to be another big war that's coming, like why not do the cultural war too? Why not weaken the side as much as you can from the other side? Like, and I just wonder about that. People said the same thing prior to World War II. Yeah, but they were idiots, and I know what I'm talking about. Did they really? I thought most people universally, like, well, not most people universally. What the fuck am I talking about? I thought there was a large amount of people that like called World War II. I thought that wasn't there, like, after the Treaty of Versailles was signed, that there was like political like pundits and cartoonists were already predicting World War II because of how just like brutally unfair the Treaty of Versailles was against Germany. It was like we're just planting the seeds here. World War II. Like I thought that's what happened.
That they were
Maybe
like,
it was retroactively. I don't know. Maybe they didn't call there was going to be Germany again. Maybe they thought it was going to be something else that would come of it. I don't know. Anyway, did not Dr. L. We're not on Dr. L just yet.
Yormunder, wasn't it?
Yeah, did Yormunder have another question? Sorry to go on a rant there.
My second question, do you consider what you're
I'm sorry.
doing on YouTube as art? What about Twitch?
YouTube definitely. It's a I wouldn't call them films, but they're videos, and videos are art. Yeah, I don't know if they would be considered high art or good art, or I don't know what classification of art they would be. But yeah, for sure. Like I think documentaries are art, and I think the videos I make are closest to documentaries. They might be edutainment, something like that. Yeah, but I consider them, they would be art. There's a lot of skills transferable from video making, and I don't have a lot of them, so they probably are bad art when considered art. But yeah, for sure. Twitch, oh man, that's a tougher one. I don't know about that. Like, I don't think what we're doing right now is art. I think the closest analog to what we're doing right now would be a radio show. So as a call-in radio show art, I think it could be, but
parts of it could be performance.
Sure, yeah, but I don't think what we're doing right now is art. I think if you're setting like, I think stand-up comedy routines are art. So if you are like, you have like something in mind and you're reacting to your audience at the same time, I think that could be art. So I'm gonna say that there are some times when the streams are art for sure. But I was gonna say for the most part and the majority of the time that I spend streaming, I'm gonna say it's not art. But I don't really know what the classification art would be in this context, or any context really. Like I still haven't really heard a definition of art that I'm like, fuck yeah, that's it. The closest I think came on a stream when someone said art is what you're left with when you take everything useful away. And I think that sounds good, and it's a very punchy statement, but I don't think it's true. But it is fairly close, or it's a good idea to follow down the rabbit hole and see if we can get a better answer from that. Definition of art has become so vague and unclear nowadays. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. Yeah, like my answer to anyone who ever wants to challenge if video games are art or not is that you always just say, okay, well, let's define art first before we get into that conversation, and then the conversation is over. Where if you don't like the person, the follow-up from that is, okay, well, how can you decide what is and what isn't art when you don't even know what art is? And there you go, conversation's over. Soft lump space. It's been a while since we were back here. Did you know that Kojima said games aren't art back in 2006? Did he really? I mean, like, I've gone back and forth on it too. Like, I always talk about the museum analogy, which is a bit flawed, but the museum analogy is a museum absolutely contains art. Like, there's art in the museum exhibitions or exhibits. Sorry, can you say exhibitions too, or is it exhibits? The museum building itself is art or can be art, like buildings, of course, like architectural artistry. It exists. It's a thing. It's very commonly agreed upon, but is a tour of a museum art, like the tour of it. Like if a tour guide like formulated a tour that guided it through the exhibits and the building in a certain way, to elicit a certain feeling and response, if that was even possible, which I think it would be, is that art? And if the answer to that question is yes, then video games are definitely art. If the answer to that question is no, then video games are not art. Video games just contain art.
He
And
actually made a museum analogy and said that video games are the museum.
did he really? No way. He actually said that? I'm so chuffed with myself right now. I'm so fucking chuffed with myself right now. Oh man, gonna sleep well tonight. Really?
So your imposter syndrome can rest for now.
It can rest for now. Damn. Damn. Me and Kojima, man. It's weird.
I made a dinosaur out of Play-Doh yesterday, and let me tell you, before Leo smashed it a couple minutes later, it was art.
It's doubly weird because like that game I was trying to make a while ago, you know, it was about connecting people over a lost apocalyptic world, and like it was about, like, it was physical wires though. You had to drag wires when you're making the delivery to link bunkers and everything. Damn, like, me and Kojima were like this. Your dinosaur was art. I didn't see it, but
I
you know,
should have showed you because he broke it.
I've heard
and then he
I've
went,
heard legends.
Sorry, mommy.
He's really good at manipulating, isn't he? He's got the best sorry. Leo's full on sorry cop. Sorry, mommy. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
Really, does the dinosaur become a better piece of art after being lost to time? Like maybe it's just something you had to be there for, you know? It even had feet. You should have seen it. And its feet and its arms matched and everything.
Someone's gonna type in chat right now, feet with a Craigasm next to it.
Well, it didn't look like feet. They looked like little Play-Doh blobs.
It doesn't matter.
They had feet. I was quite proud of this dinosaur.
The feet people just don't give a fuck. You mentioned feet and they were like, oh, it's my fetish. I'm being represented. Oh.
Yeah, it was art.
Do you know foot fetishes? Like they always look forward to their death because they'll be 6 feet under.
Then I tried to make Yoshi for Finn. I even had little eggs behind it, but it just looked like another dinosaur. It didn't look any different. I couldn't do it. And at first he said to me, Mommy, this is no good. And then when I was done, he was kind of a little bit like, not bad. But even he couldn't say it was good.
No.
It didn't look like Yoshi. It didn't. I failed at Yoshi. I tried.
Anyway, that's the answer, Yorminder. Thank you very much for the questions. We'll do the next one on Patreon, and then we'll call it. But the next one on Patreons are really quick. But first, thank you to Despare, I think, for the new sub. That was right as we started answering your Minder's questions, and we got really into that. Sorry. So there are 3 subs here that we haven't gotten to for a while. Thank you, Despare. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Yeet Fleet. All aboard. Thank you, Very Canary. I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Very Canary. Welcome to the Dragon's Den / Rub a Dub Sub Club. We haven't said that in a while. Thank you very much. Hopefully you two are still here because that was over 30 minutes ago. And last on my list right now is Kirby9 or Kirby IX. I think it's Kirby9 with a 2-month resub. Thank you very much, Kirby. Thank you for sticking it out to the 2nd month. You made it. Ralph Clouds just donated 100 bits to say, do an expressionist piece of how you remember the dinosaur and its memory can become art. Dino before Leo. That's pretty good. There's a film called Russian Ark that is a tour in the Hermitage Museum, but is also a film about Russian history. So in a sense, the tour in the museum can be art if it is also the building and the exhibition at the same time. I want to agree, and right now I'm gonna say I do agree with you, but there's still a little bit of me that's like, I'm not sure. But for the most part, I do agree. Long time VOD watcher, glad to sub. Aw, thank you, Desperate. VOD boys, shout out. My working definition of artist is anything that makes you feel something detached from what it physically is, but I'm open for someone to debunk that if you think I'm wrong. That's a pretty good one. The only thing I don't like about that, and this is just off the cuff right now, I feel like that makes it difficult to have simple art. And I think that there is a place for simplicity in art. You know, like I feel like if someone made a really good sculpture of a dinosaur and you looked at the really good sculpture of the dinosaur and your only reaction was, yep, that's a dinosaur and that's a really good dinosaur, I still think that would be art. I think there's artistry to celebrate in faithfully recreating the dinosaur. So like, and I think that doesn't go along with your definition, right? But I think that's pretty good. That's better than the most I've heard. Finn just made a noise like a dinosaur, in case you didn't hear it. I'm Joe Anderson. This is my favorite path channel on the server. Oh, I wrote that. That actually is my sign. I did do that. That's a legitimate sign. Is there a roller coaster on the server? Not yet. There is some minecarts, but that's it.
Well, you could argue that Leo broke the dinosaur, so he just like kind of built upon my art. Mm-hmm. Because he smashed it into little pieces, and maybe he was trying to replicate a post-apocalyptic dinosaur.
So he made
dinosaur fragments.
According to that definition, then Leo's version is more artistic than yours.
Probably yes.
We have a budding artist on our
definitely more modern
on our hands here
than mine. I didn't ask him what it represented though. What's in the name, right? You can call him Da Vinci.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so last one for the night is Dr. Owl, and I think this is going to be pretty quick. And yeah. But we will answer, and then I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna open the front door and I'm gonna stand outside because I am sweltering in here. It's so hot.
Dr. Owl says, my question is kind of split into two parts, so bear with me. Do you have a P.O. box or somewhere we can send you gifts?
We do, but we're not ready to give it out just yet. I think maybe a little while after The Witcher is done, we'll give out the P.O. box, but we do have that. It was really important to have that for multiple reasons. The one I'll get into right now is that every single time that I get a copyright strike that escalates on YouTube, I have to dox myself to the person who did the copyright strike. And I don't know if you know this, anyone can do a copyright strike. Literally anyone. You don't have to be... I think if you're just a random Yahoo and you try to claim that you own Death Stranding or whatever, I do think YouTube might take that a little seriously. There have been times where I've typed, after my copy-pasted message. I spend almost an hour every single week dealing with copyright strikes now, by the way. It's turned into actually quite a big deal. But anyway, after my copyright, I copy and pasted, hey, this is fair use, blah, 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 blah. If the person has no right to what they're claiming, I usually put at the end, also this person does not own the rights to this media. Usually it's with streamers. Other streamers put their stream VODs on YouTube, and then they go and they add themselves to a copyright bot network, and because they have they've claimed their playthroughs of games as their own, every single in-game cinematic that comes up for games gets copyright flagged on every single other person's VOD on YouTube. There was someone who did it somewhat recently. They added a bunch of streamers to their copyright bot list, and Twitter just lit up with Despy and it's me JP, a bunch of other streamers were I woke up this morning to literally 500 copyright claims. I do not have the time and the power to go through all these, and I got hit by that guy too at the same time. I didn't get as many. I think I got maybe I think maybe like 10 or something. And strangely, they were mostly on the main channel, not the second channel. But yeah, that's something that can happen. That's how fucked up YouTube system is, that you can just get onto that. I think they reverse them though. So in the cases of that, it can be looked into. But pretty much anyone can do a copyright strike. So every single time that I get a copyright claim, like, and it escalates, I have to dox myself because I need to give them like an address for them to mail the paperwork to prove that they're suing me if they do want to take it further. And since anyone can do it, like I'm not putting the fucking address in that so they can see it. Fuck that. Like, no fucking way. So like so we got a PO box, and that's what we've been putting in there, and that's been fine. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, they're laughing. Okay, I thought someone was crying. And the other thing was that, yeah, eventually we do want to make the PO box public to people, and if they want to send something, then they can send something. I actually asked H Bomber Guy recently, and by recently I mean like 2.5 months ago, because that's how have lost track of time. I said, hey, you have that PO box on the top of your Twitter right now. Like, how much stuff did you get? And he's like, oh, it was a fair influx at the beginning, but after that, it wasn't as, it wasn't unmanageable. So I'm like, okay, well, H Bomber Guy's much bigger than I am, so like if I gave out the PO box, it would probably be fine. But I want to go back to the post office and upgrade it to like a business class service, and I want to make just absolutely brutally sure that we're like prepared for that when it first goes up. So we're not quite ready to get the PO box out yet. Sorry, Dr. L. But we do have one.
If I were to make handmade fleece hats, I'd probably make a dragon for Joe and a lion for Leo, but I'm not sure about Lily and Finn. Did they have a favorite animal, Pokemon, or video game character I could replicate?
Aw, that's sweet. You don't have to do that. Like,
it's a lot of work.
That sounds like a lot of work. Like you don't have to do that. I can still answer because I know Finn has a clear, like, if anyone's curious what their favorite video game character is, Finn loves Yoshi right now. He's all about Yoshi. Everything is Yoshi. And also, and this is really strange, like, people are like, I think people are gonna be like, what, really? He loves Kamek from the Yoshi's Island games. Like, I don't know why. Like, he's all about Yoshi and Kamek.
He pretends he's Kamek.
Yeah. So of all the Nintendo characters to really like and attach onto, it's Kamek. Quite a minor character in Nintendo lore, but yeah, he loves him. He likes Bowser too, but yeah, Yoshi and Kamek.
He thinks they're all friends.
Yeah.
And Leo's all about dinosaurs.
And you like Eevee, don't you, from Pokemon?
I like Eevee, yeah.
Eevee, but don't do that, Dr. Al. That's way too much work.
Or piggies. I like pigs.
It's very sweet, and we appreciate the thought. Like, we really, really do. This is not dismissive in any way. Please don't take it that way. Like, it's just like that is a lot of work.
How does it feel knowing your son's going to be a huge hipster when he grows up? It makes me proud.
We're hipsters too, kind of.
To get him back to Toronto as soon as possible.
What do you mean, Kamek? Is it? Am I saying it wrong? Is it Mario? Monster Mario. Is Dr. Owl the same owl person that we're speaking to in
I think so.
that has narcolepsy as well?
I think.
Yeah. I have trouble keeping all the names straight. I'm offended you implied Kamek is obscure. Well, isn't Kamek only really a big deal in the Yoshi's Island games? I don't remember Kamek being in any mainline Mario, apart from Mario World, and even then it's not. It's just, I don't think that is Kamek. It's a Kamek, right?
He's not like... I looked up like figurines and stuff because I thought I could get something for Finn for Christmas, and you can find Bowser and Yoshi and like Shy Guys and like all these other things. But it's, well, not Shy Guys as much, but sometimes. And those, what are those things you jump on? Goombas or whatever they're called.
Goomba, yeah.
Yeah, but like not him. Like he's nowhere. Couldn't find anything that had him on it. He has a little plush of him already, but like that's the only thing I could find. He's in Galaxy?
Is he in Galaxy? I don't remember in Galaxy.
Paper Mario.
There are like 6 owls and
Yeah,
jads.
they're like
Are
two
there?
peas in a pod on whatever he plays on the Switch.
How many owls are in Shammy's server? Probably way more than 6. Like 8. That's
Yeah,
Camilla.
there was a Kamek on Amazon.
Imagine thinking for 1 second Bowser isn't the best Mario character. Who is the best Mario character? Who's the blonde thought from Galaxy 2? Probably her.
He was being Yoshi earlier, and he had me get the Bowser toy, and I put him. We have a little like Winnie the Pooh backpack that used to be mine actually that I gave him, and he had it on his back like so that the pouch was open, and I had squished Bowser in it so that he could run around and pretend he was Yoshi, and he had Bowser on his back instead of Mario. So that's what we do.
He's doing the Koopa Troopa battle music too. He's running around going dun 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 dun. He gets so mad. He's mad because bad. He's really bad at a Super Mario World, and he keeps wanting me to beat the levels for him. And I'm like, no. If I beat the level for you, I'm gonna have to beat the next level for you, and then the next level, and the next level. Like, no, you. If you want to beat the level, then you do it. When Daddy was a Finn, I say this to him. When Daddy was a Finn, no one would beat the levels for Daddy, and Daddy had to do it all by himself. So you have to beat the levels. And then he's like, no, it's too hard for me. And then he will do it. Like if he tries hard enough, he does it. And it's like, yeah, there you go.
They were playing with a balloon earlier, and he was screaming at Leo, "Ew! No through balloon! It's lava ball!" So, like, very active imaginations, I'll give him that. He was so mad. And Leo just wanted to play with the balloon. Leo didn't understand what was going on.
Dun, 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 dun. Is Lucid here? Oh my god, Lucid isn't here. Okay, let's go put a Leon meme billboard in Lucid's bunker, and then we'll call the stream.
You're in Jack's base? You're in my base?
You're in my base? Oh, I'm sorry.
Kamek appears in the new Brothers Wii Galaxy in a speaking role. All the RPG games except Paper Mario, obviously Yoshi, and is mentioned in Mario Superstar Baseball as the best Magic Koopa in passing. It's pretty. Is it? Would you say he's pretty famous then, or is he just infamous like Bowser? He likes Bowser a lot too.
Would you rather be famous or infamous, Lily?
I don't know.
What time is it for Joe? It is 2:54. We're about to be done. We answered some questions, not as many as we should have, but we only started answering questions like an hour and a half ago because we were just horrible, horrible people that were just kind of tired today. We were parents. Sorry about that. We answered, I think, what?
6 or so?
6 people's questions, though? Like, really, we should be aiming for 10. So that's not too bad, but also not great either. Tell you what I want to do. I want to be playing Hades right now. I haven't played it again since the stream, but I want to play it more. I'm really taken by it. I really like the game. I think we're going to be playing that on Tuesday. And then it's New Year's Eve on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So then Tuesday night, if we do a New Year's Eve stream on Tuesday, we're probably going to play Jump King. All right, if this blows up, will it destroy people's shit that they made here? I don't like that creepers can spawn. Okay, where's Lucid's bunker? It's right here, right? The Leon Trolling Museum. Oh no, have people like taken this? Have people taken this too far? Staff room. Spider-Chan's room. Spider-Chan? What?
Yeah, we're in Atlantic time. We're an hour ahead of where we used to be, which I forget all the time.
Yeah.
Totally really until my grandmother says it, and then I'm like, oh yeah. I'm sorry to call you so early. It's not that early. it's the time difference. And I'm like, oh, what time difference? Oh, yeah.
I started Witcher 2 today because I never finished it. Will I manage to complete it before the review drops? Depending on how long you take, but I would say almost certainly yes, you will. Waffle Honk's room. Okay, I really want to like predict where Lucid will expand his bunker, so I can knock through a wall, and then.
That's a good point, Miguel. Yeah, if you're infamous, then you last longer. I usually associate infamous with being like notorious, and it usually has a negative connotation. So do I want that?
I want to like knock through a wall and then like put a Leon sign there and then like fix the wall. So one day he's like weeks from now he's there just like, oh, time to do an expansion. He knocks through and then there's just a Leon and he'd be like. Oh, it's not letting me. How does it feel to be the one streamer to like the med-based song from The Surge? Am I the only one? I think other people like it too. You're gay. Wow. Like Shammy sang it in his in his Surge review. Made you Leon. What's Danganronpa? Oh god, someone's here that doesn't know what Danganronpa is. I envy you so much. Okay, I think that's it. Were there any questions that we missed in chat often throughout the stream today and you would like us to answer real quick? Meanwhile, when those come in, if there are any, thank you, Yayification. That's a good meme. Check us out. Thank you very much, Yayification, for the new sub. Welcome to the Rub a Dub sub club. Thank you very much. And thank you, Alpha 100 bits. I'm become sorry destroyer of Dino. Look upon my works and despair. Good quote. Think you'll ever do a Mass Effect video? Yeah, probably. At some point eventually, yeah. Wait, did he never find these?
Crackers or cookies?
I prefer cookies. I'm not really a big fan of crackers.
You haven't seen The Irishman, right?
No, I
haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. Just don't have that much. I'll probably watch it in like 20-minute installments. Yeah, I really am the only one. Well, I give the crackers to the boys, but like, I am the cracker person. I like cheese with crackers and like a platter of like meat and pickles, and that's what we had for Christmas Eve. I'm still working on the crackers.
You said Sekiro could use difficulty options. Do you think there is merit to only balancing for one difficulty and not confusing players with multiple? Absolutely, there's merit for that, but that is a concession born of either you don't want to give the time, like you've decided that it's not worth it, or you just have a lack of information to properly balance the different difficulty modes. A properly balanced difficulty mode is almost, I will never say always, is almost always going to be a benefit for any game. But the important part there is properly balanced, properly implemented. Did you ever finish Remnant from the Ashes? I never played it again after that stream, but I am interested in going back and playing it some more. Dude, are you going to watch The Irishman in that new 1.5 mode on Netflix? I watch most media now in 1.5. Sometimes I slow something down on 1.25 if I'm not really understanding it all that well. I'm really happy that Netflix has that. Okay, I'm running away from these. I don't want to be responsible for blowing up this really, really pretty bridge that someone made. I've enjoyed the discussion and just so following the Rise of Skywalker rather than the movie itself. Oh, you've enjoyed that way more. Lameo, haven't seen them. Oh, okay, I understand. I misunderstood. Haven't seen the movie, but of course it got spoiled for me everywhere. Yep. I don't think I've really enjoyed that online, but yeah, it got spoiled for me too. And excuse me, sorry, I'm yawning. How does the knowledge that the island of Newfoundland exists in a time zone of UTC 3.5 make you feel? Does it? Why are the Newfies gotta be
They have their own
special?
time. My grandmother told me that.
They're on.
She's a friend from there.
They're on Newfie time?
Yeah, they're on their own time.
Huh.
I think they're an hour ahead of us. All by themselves. Gotta be special.
I don't know why we're ahead of Toronto by an hour. We shouldn't be. Like further south in the US, they're not on the time that we are. It's silly. Creepers can't blow up blocks. Really? Oh damn! I didn't know that. Did they change that, or is that just a setting for our server?
Maybe you could change server setting to peaceful so no creepers spawn.
It's a setting? Oh, okay, cool. That's a good setting to have then. What's your movie of the year? I don't think I've seen a single movie this year that came out this year. I was talking to Novaku the other night, I think it might have been last night, about what my movies of the decade are. And I think for spectacle, my favorite movie of this decade was Mad Max Fury Road. And I think overall, my favorite movie this decade was Cloud Atlas. I really, really, really liked Cloud Atlas. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I really like disjointed, non-linear storytelling and interwoven narratives. So I really, really like Cloud Atlas. Cloud Atlas felt quite epic to me. 2019 movies. Did I see anything that came out this year? Let's see. I haven't seen Endgame. I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I haven't seen Irishman.
Still wanted to watch
Haven't
that.
seen Little Women. Haven't seen Knives Out. Haven't seen new Star Wars. Haven't seen Joker. Haven't seen Ad Astra. I haven't seen Parasite. I haven't seen any of these movies. Not a single one. Haven't seen John Wick Part 3. You should see Knives Out. Yeah, I probably should. Oh no, Joseph has bad opinions. You don't like Cloud Atlas, Seth? I thought Cloud Atlas was really good. What's a movie with better spectacle than Fury Road that came out this decade? Ready or Not? What's that?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was not a dumpster fire like Skywalker, but I felt it was really weak for a Tarantino movie. I like, I'm interested in stuff with Manson, so I wanted to see it just for that.
If you like intro narratives, you should read The Expanse. The show just got its fourth season this month. The film books that released in 2020. Yeah, I would like to watch The Expanse. The Expanse is on my list of shows to watch. I really want to watch The Boys, and there was something else that people have been saying is really good that I want to see. I can't remember it now though. It might be on Amazon TV as well. Have you seen Ex Machina? Yeah, I have. I didn't really like it that much. I thought Ex Machina was one of those sci-fi movies that is. I have this criticism of a lot of sci-fi movies, which is that it ends when it was getting interesting. Like a lot of them are like that. They end. A lot of games are getting like that too, or a lot of games have gotten like that, and they still are. There are these stories that end in the second act, you know, like, and if you're looking at movies or stories as a traditional 3-act structure, which I don't think you should, but a lot of people do look at it like that, so I'm translating it for that. I feel like a lot of these movies end at the end of Act 2 when there's this big and then Act 3 should be, oh okay, now we're going to explore that ramifications of the last Act 2, and it's like, oh no, we actually just ended Act 2. It's like, oh okay. I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was all that great. You'll like Parasite judging from your taste. I watched some of the trailer and I thought it looked pretty good. The Hitler movie looks good too. Jojo Rabbit, that looked good. I want to see that. Doctor Sleep doesn't really interest me all that much because I haven't seen the Shinin. Godzilla, I think Godzilla might be fun, but I'm not really a big Godzilla fan. I'd like to finally see Endgame, even though I know everything that happens in it. John Wick 3 I'd really like to see. I like the John Wicks. Knives Out looks really good. I like to see Knives Out. Do you recommend Disco Elysium to someone that's never played an isometric RPG like Planescape Divinity before? No, I think that you should watch the beginning of a playthrough that somebody did of it. Not necessarily me, but hey, if you like my content, then you can watch the opening that I did. And you will probably know within the first 20 minutes whether you want to play that game yourself. And by play that game, I mean read that visual novel. Okay, what else? Okay, let's see. 2019 like underrated like indie movies. Let's see. Okay, pretty good. The Only One of the Night.
I haven't seen anything either.
The Witch, 3 Billboards, Mad Max, Fury Road. Yep, that's all I can think of. I really love this decade. I'm definitely missing stuff at her stream. It's this much of a jerk. Oh, did you like Fury Road? That's good. The Witch. Is The Witch with Natalie Dormer? The Witch is not. It's with Anya Taylor-Joy. I feel like I know this person from something. Anya, I'm sorry. Oh, from the Split trailer. I remember that now.
Love that name.
Is this really that good? The Witch? The Witch is so bad. It's got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes,
fantastic.
and I'm not saying that Rotten Tomatoes is like the be all end all. Like I really I hate it when people do that, but generally, like if something is high on that list, it is not complete shit. You know what I mean? Radioactive. Oh, Rosamund Pike played Mary Curie in a movie. That looks pretty good. I like Rosamund Pike. I enjoyed the Lighthouse a lot more. Lighthouse looked cool. I'd like to play that. Watch that. Okay, I'm tired. All right, so I'm gonna head out. Thank you very much for streaming, everybody. Sorry that we were like messing around with chat a little bit too much. Hopefully it was all right though. We'll ease back into this and get over the holidays, and we'll be back next Saturday with answering more questions. So we will see you later. I'll see you on Tuesday for more Hades, and then Lily and I might be back on Tuesday night for New Year's Eve into New Year stream. I'll be playing Jump King just to frustrate Lily, and we'll be talking and taking questions. It'll be like an impromptu Q&A without the Q&A stuff from Twitch and Patreon. Actually, we'll just sit and chill and talk. And Disco Elysium, if we're going to continue it soon, the first Disco Elysium stream will probably be on the 7th of January. But I might postpone it until The Witcher's done. We'll see. I don't know. I'd like to get back to it, and that's the problem. It's very hard on me to play that game. It's very, very, very taxing to read for that long and try and process a game as dense as that. But I am enjoying it. Anyway, see you guys later. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend.
Bye, you guys.